with her head on his chest, under his chin.
Yeah.
It's fine. Totally fine. Not even mad. See? Look at me go. I'm speechless. I don't know what to ask you.
If that's your kink, I'm so happy for you.
I will throw my old Kindle across the room because I'm not doing that.
And now, here are your hosts.
Hello, fellow bookworms. Welcome to Bookmark Your Next Chapter, a podcast hosted by Katie,
Amanda,
And Kristen.
three friends who love books. Books. Wow, my voice went out there for a minute.
like, words are not happening.
Books.
That's funny.
Hello, friends. I think we're gonna have things to say
Yes.
in this section.
Lots of things.
Just a few.
Today's episode, we're going to be covering chapters 15 through 20 in the third book of the Blood and Ash series, fourth book in the Blood and Ash series, which is called The War of Two Queens. We're off to a great start.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
So, if you're not used to the whole spiel, we're an R-rated podcast, which means any hanky-panky, any swearing,
Any big dicks?
Yep. They're all on the table.
Literally. Figuratively and literally. Whoop-home.
Oh, God.
So, if you haven't sent any young children off to their room or to another
Sorry,
room,
Timmy.
any spouses, any significant others, whoever, friends, whoever you don't want to listen to this with you, send them off now, grab your beverage of choice, and come along for this ride with us.
It's gonna be a ride.
Gonna be a
It's
bumpy ride.
I literally quit the book at one point.
Did you
And I'll
really?
get into it. Yep.
I'll
get into it.
I thought about you, and I was like, I wonder if Kristen was like, I'm out.
Yep.
I thought about you.
All right. So with that, are we ready?
We ready. So before we get into this episode, we just want to let you know that there's a bit of triggering content here, especially in chapter 16. That chapter and the discussions that we have about that contain serious graphic content and material regarding children that includes mass murder and other similar triggering content. So take a look at our timestamps, and if you do not want to be a part of any of those conversations and hear any of that, just make sure you skip past. And we'll also throw another trigger warning ahead of the chapter too. So if you kind of get into listening to us and you forget, we'll definitely bring it up before we discuss that in depth. So
Yes. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start us off with chapter 15, friends.
Yep.
So the chapter opens, Poppy thinking to herself that Victor once told her he believed the mist was more than just a shield to cloak the craven, but that it was what filled their lungs since they no longer needed to breathe. And my first note to that was, that's very fucking creepy.
yes,
Little bit.
ma'am.
A little bit. I was
And-
wondering if he was dropping hints to her. Like, I feel like it's very obvious, but like, I'm like, Victor, qu'est-ce que c'est?
And for this to get brought up at this point, it's like, it's interesting that suddenly she's talking about Victor or thinking about him. Suddenly
Yep.
she's like, how many times has the Craven, we've seen them, and the mist comes in and she's never like, I remember Victor told me this thing about the mist. And it's like, weird that we're like getting this kind of thought process right now. Like, this has got to mean something.
Yep.
You
He
know
really
what's
came up a lot in this book.
Yeah. Kind of you talking about that, Amanda, there's a point, and I'll get into it later in the chapter, where like something's brought up, and I'm like, oh, Jennifer, this is so, like, you mentioned it last episode, I think, where you're like,
The
this just
convenience.
seems dumb that like you're just finally bringing this up.
Yes.
And I've never, ever felt that in a book until you brought it up. And then at some point in this, I'm like, this is just way too convenient that
Right?
you're just bringing it up. It's like,
Yes.
I thought I forgot about this. I'm just going to add it in here.
Yes, because how many times we've talked about the mist, or how many times we talked about the Revenant, or whatever it was in the previous, I can't even remember. But it was just like, oh, suddenly you remember this, even though we've
heart bonds
experienced
traveling,
this.
soul bonding,
Yes, the
Yes.
heart
travel
bonds.
thing.
Like,
That's what it
oh,
was.
this thing about heart bonds is like, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even remember what it was for, but there's.
But it
I'll
pops in
find
your
it my
head and you're like,
notes. It'll be
"Ah."
in my notes, and I'm like, this is too convenient.
I'm sorry that I did that to you, because now you're going to notice it
No,
more
it's
often.
fine.
But
It's like
I
once
did
you see
have-
it once, you see it everywhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Literally. in regards to this like mist and thoughts about Victor, I believe it was just in our last episode that we did have a little bit of a conversation about Victor and thinking like, I think he knew more than he thought.
Yup.
Isn't the theory that we thought is he's Wolven? Is that
Yeah, I
where-
think that's
Yeah,
thrown
someone
out
said that.
but we
now.
did think about that, right? So
Yes.
I just thought it was interesting that her also bringing up the mist and how Victor said this and that about it was proving to us that he did know more. Like this was alluding
right.
to the
Yes,
fact that there
right
may
away.
be more to that theory, whether we were right
Yeah.
or wrong. It was something that
I know.
yeah.
First paragraph starts, I'm like, oh, I'm so fucking right. I'm so fucking right. And then I get to the chapter, I'm like, damn it.
Damn it!
God fucking damn it.
But you were the closest.
Ugh.
No one
I
else
w-
really
Yeah.
had a Victor theory. So
I was really on my iWatch, I thought for sure that was a giveaway, but
yeah.
Yeah.
alas.
Hello.
Anywho, so battle with the Craven begins, and
Yes.
our poor dear Arden runs into the mist, and Poppy
I'm
feels
like,
intense
why
pain
did
as he
you
is attacked.
run?
Oh,
Why
honestly,
that was
I'm
so stupid.
I'm like, are you not like
Sorry.
7 bajillion years old? Shouldn't you know
Yes.
how to fight these things?
Yes.
He's a Wolven.
And to not run into a pile of Craven.
yeah.
Like,
I didn't even catch
Like,
this.
I don't
Arden
run
ran
into
into
a-
it. Like Arden
Yes.
specifically?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's like literally Poppy's like, no, Arden, wait! And he like
Really?
takes off into the mist and she can't
Yeah.
see him anymore.
Oh
Yes.
my god! That
And then
went
all of
way
a sudden
over my
she
head.
hears him yelp and like he's in pain and she can feel his pain.
That second part, I realized I totally. Here's the problem, though. When they say a Wolven's name that is not familiar to us, I'm like, I don't remember
yeah.
which Wolven it is. It goes in and out because I don't see it on the page. So,
You
they
can't
coulda said-
connect it.
like, Joe Blow ran in, and she was like, no, and I was like, okay, gone from my head.
Yeah.
nope.
So
He ran.
I do have some notes here before Arvin.
Arden.
And
But
Arden.
yes.
I kept writing
Yep.
Arvin and had to autocorrect to Arden, so now I have Arvin in my head. Does anybody else have notes before that, though? Before I get into what I have before he.
Go for it.
Okay, so go ahead.
I think I just said I wondered if Poppy was going to use her power on the Craven.
I was
But
wondering
she
the
didn't.
same thing, and I have a lot of feelings about that, which I'll get into in this
So get into.
thing here. So at first, when the Craven attacks, Poppy says it was unbelievably fast and unbelievably fresh. And at that point, I'm thinking, could this be because Poppy and the Wolven came earlier to, are they at Oakley Ambler at this point? Sending a message that we're going to come here, we're going to go to war, so like get out now if you want to. And I'm thinking, could this be the result of that, where the Ascended decided to make a whole bunch of Craven out of the innocents to both send a message to Poppy, but also to be used
Yep.
as a defense strategy, which I think is pretty much proven that is what's going
you
on
called
here.
it. Check mark,
Um,
check mark.
So the only thing I wasn't clear on here is I thought from my memory of what we learned in the very first book that it took a few days from bite to Craven. And she kept saying like these were fresh. And then later in this chapter, Poppy specifically says that these people were alive the day before. She's like, I could tell that they
Yes.
weren't dead yesterday.
The
And I'm
guard
thinking,
and the guard confirms it too. He's like, I saw these guys alive yesterday.
yes. So I'm like, this is not checking out to like the story. However, I was humbled. I did go back to book 1. Just for everybody, if you want this information. And this is what it says about the curse of the Craven. The curse progressed differently for everyone. It took hold for some in a matter of hours, while others it could take a day or 2. I knew of no cases that were beyond 3 days. But I was really like, this does not make
I
sense
forgot
to me on
about that.
timeline.
Yeah.
I
Me
thought like
too.
24 hours was not enough time, but I was proven wrong there. But while describing the Craven, and after a man-turned Craven attacked, Poppy said another woman Craven came, and she was dressed the same as the man. And to me, it sounded like they were all wearing the exact same clothing. They all had the exact same wounds on their throats in the exact same place. And I thought that Craven, like someone that's turned Craven, it's not always on your throat. It's like a wild animal attack, right? Like, so it felt, again, added to the theory here that they were purposefully created army of Craven that were
Good
made
catch.
in the same way because their wounds were the exact same, and they
Yep.
were dressed the same, which almost made me
Yep.
feel like they were an
Mhm.
army.
Yeah. Which we find out later, it's all their servants.
Yes,
So that's why they're all
right?
wearing the same thing.
Yes.
Good call. Good catch.
Woohoo.
Yeah, that was a good catch.
So also, so this is starting to allude to Arden, but I think this is the first time we have Poppy experiencing the pain of a Wolven through the primal notum. She says how she felt hot pain that was not mine, and she could tell who it belonged to as well, as she was, as we've seen in previous chapters, working on getting familiar with the feel of the individual bonds. So I feel like that was kind of
Yep.
foreshadowing here to something that she could call out when she wasn't with the woman of who and what was happening to. And
Yep.
it described it similar to the bond that previously was between Kieran and Cass when Cass was caged and Kieran could feel what Cass was feeling. I felt like in this moment that painted a whole new picture of what Kieran was experiencing when Cass was
Yes.
being captured the first time, because we're seeing Poppy experiencing that. And like to
Right.
me, it just, I was like, poor Kieran. Like that made me feel, because he was like, it was years, wasn't it? Like 100
Yeah.
years or something
Yeah.
crazy that he
Yeah.
went through that.
And he was like bedridden the entire time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was a whole new meeting to me about that after.
Kind of put it in perspective,
Yeah.
right?
It did.
Yeah.
And then I get into Arden. So if you guys want to jump in on your notes there.
I was just
I
sad.
I know, me too.
I'm like, I know, and it's not even like he was a main
I
character.
know.
Like he's fairly minor, and I'm like, I feel like this is just like Jennifer's way to be like, here's a taste of what's to
here's
come.
easing. Yes,
Yeah.
you were
Yes.
so
Literally,
freaking
though.
right. Like,
Yes.
get used to it, guys.
And like then she's, even though she knows to herself that it's not going to work, she still tries to bring him back. And like
know.
obviously it doesn't work, but like
Yeah.
her hands are all bloody because like she's pushing so hard into him to try and like bring him back. It was very sad.
Make him
It was very
stay.
sad.
I felt at first that because I had to go back and reread this. Like I actually read it instead of listened, because I felt at first I was a little mad at Poppy, because I was like, why isn't she going to Arden faster? Like I felt that she was internal monologuing a lot about like, I could still see him breathing. I could see this. I could see that. And there was a whole bunch. And then she's like, and then he took his last breath. And I'm like, what were you fucking around for that whole time?
I
Like you should have just ran
know.
to him. Now, on a second read through, I didn't feel it was that way as much. It almost just felt like they were painting a picture of the scene before we like, and it wasn't as much time
Yeah.
going by. So I did feel better about that.
And she kind of had to like slash her way through Craven to get to him
Yeah.
too, because he was in the middle of the
exactly.
mist.
Yes. So
Because he was a dumb dummy that just took off. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
ugh,
So I was
why?
feeling a little frustrated because I felt like she didn't do everything she could have, but I kind of take that back a little. I do have
Yeah.
the note here. As Kieran asks Poppy to stop because it's too late for Arden, he goes, "Stop." Kieran ordered quietly, lifting my hands, my blood-smeared hands. He pressed his lips to my knuckles. He's gone, and you know this. He's gone. And I'm like,
I know.
so sad.
It was so sad.
Um,
And you can picture it so clearly
you
too.
could,
Mhm.
honestly.
Mhm.
And so here's my thoughts on her gift. So during this whole Craven attack, I'm thinking to myself, why doesn't Poppy just like insta-kill them? Like we know that she could with her powers if she thought about it strong enough. And
Mhm.
we're told that if she uses too much ether, that can weaken her. So it's like, okay, I get why she's not. Like I kind of came to terms with that. But then there's moments where Arden is dying, where she tries to bring him back, and she's using all of the ether and all of her might that she
Right.
can to bring him back. So it's like, that's going to weaken you more than if you just went out and tried to kill
And
them all.
maybe
Like,
she could have saved him
yes,
faster
and
had
it's
she
like
just.
you could have just wiped all the Craven out, because not only did she have to try to bring Arden back, then she had to heal everybody that got injured. You're telling
Yeah.
me that didn't take as much ether when you could have just avoided all of that from the beginning?
Didn't
Like,
she
Mhm.
say
I'm kinda
though,
like,
previous, like before she was a god and ascended into her power, she had that healing capability? So she's like, she was logicking it out as, I already had this,
So maybe
so I
this
don't think it's
doesn't
going to
weaken me?
affect the ether as much. Yeah, she reasoned
Yeah,
through that later.
She
in
did.
the
You're right.
chapters.
Actually, that was said. But I feel like at the end of her healing, she's weakened. Like,
yes,
so
she
I'm
is
like,
100%.
oh, like you could have just. I guess in hindsight, she didn't know. But I was like,
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah.
have
Theory has
avoided
been proven
this.
wrong.
Like, yeah.
My next
Anywho.
note's Valyn. Do you guys have anything before Valyn enters the chat?
I think when they
No,
start talking about like the servants, how it's all the servants, I was like, just when you think the ascended can't get any worse, they do this shit.
Right?
Literally, though.
Like I struggled these chapters because I'm like, you can't wrap your mind around
No.
it, like what they did.
I
Like,
know. I really struggled in
unfathomable.
16. It's probably the one
Yeah.
I have the least amount of notes for.
Same. Me too, actually.
Where I
Because I'm
rage
just
quit.
like, yeah. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
But my next note is Valyn as well. So
Okay, so Valyn comes in after doing a sweep of the area and says the Ascended have gone. It appears as though they had set a trap and fled. Poppy tries to read him, but his mental shield is up more than ever. And I put,
What did you think
guys
about
are
this?
Making me. You guys are going to be right, aren't you? Damn it!
I literally put Valyn says he believes they left, and then immediately Poppy goes, his shields are stronger now, stronger than they have ever been. Why, after saying this
I
about the
know.
Ascended, are your shields the strongest they've ever been? And then I put, Katie, you have got to admit that this is very sus.
I there were so many times like, God damn it, you guys. Fuck. I'm never trusting anyone again.
I really want to be proven wrong about Valyn, and I'm really like, now that we're kind of talking about it again, I'm really hoping there's something more to it. Like maybe he's like the victor or whatever, and like,
Right,
and that's why he
in
has
a
strong
way.
shields to shield his emotions.
Because he's
and, like,
not allowed
he's
to.
trying to be yes.
Oh, that's a good theory,
I'm really
honestly.
hoping it's something like
That's
that.
a good
much better.
theory.
If it was a victor, like I didn't think whatever they're called.
Yeah, I think
they
that's right.
look. It's
Yeah.
spelled like
Victor.
Victor.
It is.
Yeah,
said
Victor.
Victor's.
But if he was one, I kind of like this theory. Maybe that he is one. This is coming to my head now, because like he talks to Poppy like you're like a daughter to me. Like he
And that's
just the
what
way
Victor
he
did.
deals with her. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps right
I'm
now.
really hoping.
I
I'm
like
See,
that
really
much
hoping.
better.
And even near like the last couple of chapters here that we read, I actually admit in my notes, I'm like, maybe Valyn's okay. Like I was starting to feel better about him. Like this, I was like, but near the end, I'm like, oh, maybe he is okay. And there's
sometimes
some other
when the hints
reason.
are too obvious, it's like, is this what
Yes.
she's
Yes,
wanting to lead us
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
down?
Yeah,
I
was
I
like,
hope.
Katie, this
Because I'll
is
be so sad. Like, can you imagine?
I know.
As far as Cass is concerned, his mother betrayed him, his brother betrayed him, and then his father does too.
And Shay did, and Alistair
Shay.
did.
Like,
Yes. Yes.
I can't.
Yes.
Like, he needs someone. He needs.
and
And
like,
how perfect
oh.
would it be that like Cass's dad is like literally there to kind of protect Poppy though? Like
Yeah.
I just
Cass
love
would love
that
that
idea.
even. Like Cass would
He
be
would.
happy
He
with that.
would.
I'm really hoping.
That's a good
for
theory.
that.
That's actually such a good theory.
So Valyn says to them now, what lies in the chamber is a message for Poppy, but he doesn't think that she should look. Kieran and Poppy go look anyways, of course.
I was
Um,
really worried this message was going to be all the kids.
Me too. That's my
Really
first
worried.
note. I said,
Mm.
you guys, this is what the chamber's going to be. And I
I was
hate
so
it.
scared.
Yeah. So I think we should put a little trigger warning here, maybe skip ahead a little bit. We are going to be
Yes.
discussing some sensitive topics regarding death and mutilation and
Children.
Children
Yeah.
or young.
Adolescence.
Yes.
So she walks into the room and there are a bunch of mutilated female bodies that are hanging from the ceiling, from gold chains that are holding the veils in place on their faces. Their clothes are ripped off and there's like claw marks and bite marks in very suspicious places. Bleh. Poppy stumbles out of the room because she can't like look at it. Kieran follows her out and tells her that like this is not her fault, because instantly she's like, these people died because of me.
That's exactly
I
what she
didn't-
said.
Yes, she's like, I didn't kill them. I wasn't the one to kill them, but like this is a message to me. Like this is my
Mhm.
fault. And he's like trying to like comfort her or whatever. And he says, this
Yes.
is just the Ascended trying to get into your head. And then Kieran says that he'll go cover the bodies so that they have a respectful end and they can finally rest. Because I forgot about this, but it's mentioned later in this book that in this world, the souls can't go to the veil until their bodies have been burned, or at least that's the belief.
Yes, that's their belief.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
so like this is them saying like, okay, we're going to give them that release. Where
Yes,
they're going to be
to
able
them,
to go
they're
to the
like
veil.
trapped here. They're still
Yeah.
kind of suffering, right? Until
Yes,
that
yes.
happens and they can like move on. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like a respectful thing that they can do considering what's going on.
Yeah. And then Poppy also makes a note that like they're not far from becoming Craven themselves. Like, and I think
Mhm.
one's
Yes,
hand
she
twitches
said they.
or something,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Kristen.
I was just gonna say like this is awful, and like I think I was just trying to like, oh my god.
Get through it.
But I hope at some point Poppy, like, I know how bad Poppy feels, and, like, it's not her fault. She's not the one making these decisions.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And I really hope at some point she can not take solace, but maybe, like, account into her feelings that the Ascended had another choice. They
Right,
had another
yes.
choice to surrender. She did not choose that options, and, like, she gave them the option, you
Yeah.
surrender or this is going to happen. And the Ascended said,
Mhm.
we don't care about that option. We're going to go do the most
Yes.
fucking awful thing
Yes.
we can
Mhm.
do.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, and she's saving, like, the future. So, like, there's no chance once she deals with these Ascended
That this will
that
happen.
this will happen again.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
so I really hope that like
Sinks
somehow
into
hits her,
I feel the
or she's
same way.
she can, like, balance it.
No, I it's so bullshit that they keep saying that Poppy is the bringer of death and destruction, because it's literally
You're
the blood
ones
crown.
doing it.
They are the ones causing the death. They are the ones causing the
Yep.
destruction. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's so frustrating. And I feel bad for this fictional character that she doesn't see that. Like, she literally is like, they're dead because of me. And it's like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like, did you pull the
Literally.
trigger? No. Like,
Exactly. You
Mhm.
didn't even hand them the gun. They
No.
did that all by
No.
themselves.
exactly. Like,
Oh,
literally.
just awful. I felt so disgusted, like, listening to this part. These
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
two chapters, I think, were the roughest.
Yes.
They
but-
are hard.
For sure they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So Poppy and Kieran. Oh, sorry, Amanda. Did you have
just
something there?
right? Like, right at the end of that, I don't know if you guys caught this or not. I had to reread it, and I think I know what they're referring to, but I want to see what your thoughts are. But Kieran asked Poppy, why did you lie to Delano? And she was like, what do you mean? And then it kind of left it at that. And I'm like, are we just ignoring this? Like, lie about what? And then I had to look at the actual text, and Delano says to Poppy, he goes, Poppy? And Poppy replies with, I'm okay. Is that
Yeah,
what
that's
he
what I
means
was thinking
by,
it was.
are you lying?
That's
yeah,
what I was
that's
thinking it
okay.
was.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Because Kieran's like, I know you're not okay. Like,
Okay.
why did you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, second read, I
That's
was
what
like,
I
I
took
think.
from it anyway.
Okay.
I don't
That's
know
what
if
I
that's
took from it too.
Okay. That probably is.
I was gonna say
Okay.
that, and I was like, did she say that? And then you read it. I'm like, yes, that's what I
yeah.
thought.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Poppy and Kieran go find Valyn, and Val confirms that there are tunnels underneath the temples as well, and they're assuming that the Ascended used them to make their escape without being seen, because it leads out into like a cliff area.
I was wondering too if they had the children and they're holding them hostage. Either be like, you want these children, you're gonna have to let us go, or if they're gonna take them to the capital for more revenants.
It's all things that they would
I
freaking do.
wish I was right.
I wish.
I
you
know,
were right,
honestly, I was
too.
like, those options sound better than what actually happened.
I know.
Because Lord love a duck.
This is just like a random thing that made me feel kind of positive, but Poppy noticed that Kieran was spacing out at one point here and just like staring off, and she says to him, I think for the first time ever unprompted, like, Kieran, are you okay? And his
Mhm.
answer was, I will be, which is so heartbreaking, but it made me feel happy for Kieran that he was noticed after
being
like all of this
acknowledged.
and being acknowledged and being like, are you
Yeah.
good? Like, are you?
Mhm.
And yeah,
She did that a few times with a few different characters in this
Yeah.
section of chapters.
Yep, she did.
I mean, I feel like in those situations, like, you'd have, like, not you'd
Mhm.
have to, but, like, it's so heavy. Like, you don't want to
Yes,
focus on
yeah.
your own
Exactly.
feelings.
That's a good call,
Mhm.
actually. It's almost like a projection, like, so you don't have
Yeah.
to. You can like worry
Mhm.
about somebody else, because I can't even
Yeah.
start to even.
I don't even want to think about
yes,
it. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
So Lynn comes back from his search and said that they found men and women in white robes, but no sign of children. Poppy says that must be the priests and priestesses. And Poppy is led to 6 of them. And then Poppy is like inner monologuing about the one that was responsible for her teachings. I forget what her name was. I didn't write it down.
I know, I couldn't either. I was thinking the
something.
same thing.
And she wonders if these ones are just as cruel as those ones. A gentleman by the name of Fremont says that they have been waiting for Poppy since she was born. Says that the prophecy was written and the time has come for her to now fulfill her purpose to, quote unquote, remake the realms as one. He says that she was the chosen. Long before your birth, you were foretold, you were promised. And then he repeats the prophecy that Alistair had once said, claiming that they all serve the true king of the realms.
My true king Colas alert. Not, they say true king, not Queen, Colis. I'm calling it now.
I
Do you think
never
that's who they're
even-
referring to?
I forgot
I
about
think
him totally.
Isbitch is getting her shit from Colis, and I thought that last time.
And he's the big bad.
And the true king is Colis, because he's not dead on page.
Very true.
He ain't dead.
I think you might be right.
There's some point too where, I don't know where it is. I thought it was before, but Valyn is saying something about, a prophecy that only a few in Atlantia know or something. And like, didn't they say prior, Atlanteans have no prophecies?
Oh yeah, they did.
But Alistair believed in one, remember?
It was
Alistair-
something like, but he's
now
woven.
Valyn is saying, Valyn had said previously they don't have prophecies,
Yes.
I thought.
Yes, he did.
And now I think at some point in this chapter, Valyn starts talking about a prophecy.
Yeah, he
Like, you
says, like,
literally
how does this mortal know about Atlantean prophecies or something like that? He says something.
Yeah,
after
when he
the
literally
spiel.
said Atlanteans don't have prophecies. That's something the
Yes.
Woven believe. Like, that's not something an Atlantean. That's
Yes.
interesting. I'm pretty sure you're right on that.
I'm like, he suddenly...
Because he's sus. He's sus. I don't know.
Mana's eyes. He just like, yeah.
So I just thinking about the priests and priestesses and how they knew the prophecy and they knew like about the foretelling of Poppy's arrival. I don't know why, but it brought my mind back to like the Duke and Duchess in Solis, and how they always seemed worried, right? And like the Duchess was even like, try to like feel from me, Poppy, can you feel anything? And she was nervous, like the Duke was going to be mad that her powers were growing. But like in hindsight now, like they knew that her powers were going to grow if they knew what she was. So it was like, why were the Duke and Duchess mad about that when that was kind of the ultimate goal? And I was starting to think, like, do you think that they were worried that she is the bringer of death and destruction and that they were maybe at risk while she was there and they were hoping to finally like get rid of her before that happened? Like, I feel it. I just understand that a bit differently now that I know what they wanted out of Poppy. Like that they want her on the side and they want her to help bring in this new,
Yeah.
like, why were they so afraid of her powers growing and afraid that she was going to
Maybe it was
feel
all
the
about because they weren't
emotions?
controlling when it was growing.
Yeah.
Like
Maybe.
she was kind of doing that herself,
was
and they're like, no,
not on
we're
their
supposed to control
timeline.
you. Yeah.
Maybe. And also,
Mhm.
like, I feel like it's a bit of foreshadowing to the fact that eventually Poppy's going to be able to feel the emotions from the Ascended. Because
Yeah.
the Duchess was, like, almost sure when she's like, can you or can you not? Like,
Yeah.
and now that we know that her power is growing and whatnot, I wonder if
Mhm.
that will become a thing. Like, maybe even Isbeth can feel from the Ascended. So, like,
Mhm.
maybe. I don't know.
Mhm.
Anywho. That's all I got.
Poppy believes that the true king they're referencing is Malek. Definitely don't think it's Malek.
No.
Think she's
I know,
wrong
my
there.
mind was like, they say Malek, but I think Colis.
I love that. I didn't even, I kind of forgot
That's a
about
good
him,
thought.
honestly.
Well, because you even say, like, they don't say Malek's dead, but they say Malek was lost to them a long time ago. And I said, maybe he was corrupted by Colis.
Literally.
Mm.
Because that would be his great grandfather or something, right? Like that's that
I was-
bloodline.
I was beating
I
that
think
drum
so.
this chapter.
I think you're so right. Because what else would have forced Iris and you know what I mean? Like we're like, how
Mhm.
could Isbeth have like, because there's at one point that Nectis, I think, said that they were like tricked out of Elysium, basically, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
who else could do that other than like somebody of your bloodline, of your lineage, of he was a primal, like the very first, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh,
Poppy
boy.
wonders if it was actually Malek that used Colis's essence to create the storm, not Isbeth, but that would mean someone would have had to have freed him from his entombment. So then she goes on a whole spiel about they need to go confirm that he is still entombed. And so she pulls Valyn aside and asks how Ilawana had entombed Malek. And he responds with old magic and bone chains. And I put this has to be primal magic, right? Like what
Yeah,
other
I
old
would
magic
think
could
so,
there
yeah.
be?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my assumption too.
So they agree they need to make sure that Isbeth doesn't have Malek, and they need to go check where he is entombed. And then I put, I don't like this. You guys are making me sus of Val. Because he says, I will go
Sorry.
get word to Evamon, and as soon as we're done dealing with this, I'm
Right?
like, I feel dread. Something bad's gonna
I
happen.
know. I know.
It's all your fault.
Sorry.
I know. Boo.
So then Poppy asks Fremont where the children are, and he starts to say that they're serving the gods, but Poppy cuts him off and says she knows the truth and she wants to know where they are. He says they serve just as you do, just as you will also. And I put, what the fuck? That's creepy. Nail comes back with more priests, with 2 hidden Ascended amongst them. Which, did we know that Ascended also worked in the tombs or the temples prior to this?
I don't
I
know
don't
if that was
think so.
confirmed.
Because I was like, oh, that's weird. Why did 2 of them stay behind? Like, that's
Yeah.
weird.
It's kind of random.
And then Vanetta stumbles while holding on to one of them.
I laughed when I read this because I'm like, they deserved it. But also, because I'm now suspicious of her, thank you, Katie. I'm like, frick, did this priestess know something and Vanetta tripped her so that she can't tell anything?
Like, about Vanetta, you mean?
Yeah. Like, did Vanetta trip the priestess, who then died, because that priestess was going to tell Poppy something that she needed to know? And Vanetta's like, no, you can't spill that information. You're dead now.
Dude! It's like, so everybody, I'm like, sus. Like, nobody can be
Yes.
trusted now. And I hate the, like, walking on eggshells feeling. You know what I mean?
Jennifer
Can I
is giving
trust-
us
can I not- can I
trust
trust-
issues.
Yes. Yes. That is the truth.
Oh, but yeah, I just thought it was funny because she's like, what? She bit me.
Yeah.
It was just funny.
It was
I
funny.
giggled. So the chapter ends with the female priestess coming forward saying she will take them to the children.
I was hoping they were alive.
I had a feeling they were not.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, chapter 16, again, we want to start this chapter's discussion with a trigger warning, as this is the chapter that contains some very serious graphic content and materials regarding children that includes mass murder and other similar triggering content. So if you want to skip past and jump to chapter 17, just check our show notes and jump back in at that point. So this chapter starts with the female priestess walking Poppy and the rest of the group to where the children are. Kieran is concerned it may be a trap, and Poppy asks, why would you agree to take us to them now? And in reply, the priestess says very ominously, because it's time. So
Yeah. Creepy.
my first question here,
creepy.
as like we were like very beginning of the chapter, is I was wondering if the priestess was ascended or not. Did it confirm that? Was she one of the ascended or no? Because
I don't think it confirms, because it says like she was trying to read her and it was
Yes.
different than an ascended. I was like, is she a rev?
I know. So
But like,
I felt the same
Well, I
way.
hope
So
not, because
I
they cut her
put
head off, so that means
Poppy
she'll come back.
tried to reach out with her senses when Kieran was worried it could be a trap. Poppy then thinks, I didn't know what I felt. It wasn't nothing. It was just an emptiness that wasn't very different from what I felt when I tried to reach an ascended. And I thought to myself, that could be taken 2 ways. It could be like she's not an ascended, but it wasn't very different from what I do feel from them. But she also could be an ascended, and she's thinking that was an emptiness and it's not very different from what I normally feel from ascended. So I'm like, is she one or
Yeah.
isn't she one? Like I'm like, also I thought, could she be a revenant? But she can feel from revenants though, right? Like
She can,
more than an emptiness. And I
think
also
so.
thought, is this the first time she says she feels emptiness? Because I thought she felt nothing from an ascended. Like there was nothing there. But to me, emptiness is something.
Yeah.
Like that's different than nothing. And
yes,
unless
she said it wasn't nothing. It was emptiness.
Exactly. Was that our first time realizing that, or is that just
I think so.
me? Because yeah, I'm like, that is
No, I don't remember hearing emptiness
feeling
before.
emptiness is something.
I knew.
in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
Mhm.
before we get to where we get to, I had a note here, and I said, I know I've talked about in the previous episode that I have some pretty dark theories, and I think I kind of called this last episode too, that they were gonna come into something like that.
Mhm.
And so at this point, while they're working, I have this theory that something obviously terrible is going to happen with these children. And my mind, like, it goes to really dark places like that. And obviously not out of wanting something like that to happen, but I am wired to go to worst case scenarios. And I mean, like, worst case, what is the most terrible possible thing that could happen in this situation? Because I'm so
Yeah.
afraid of those things happening. And that's the first thing I'm like, this is what they're going to walk into. And like my next
Mhm.
note, oh my God, it is happening. And I'm at a loss for words. And I'm just like, I can't.
I
Yeah.
First I said, fuck me, children bones. I'm like, BRB sobbing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, how did Jennifer, I'm almost worried, how did you come up with this?
Yeah, you
Yeah, Jennifer,
psycho.
are you
Like,
okay?
You
Yeah,
psycho.
do you need a hug?
Like, we thought Isbeth was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs,
Yeah.
but Jennifer, you're very sus.
Yeah.
We're sus of you now, Jennifer.
And then this is where I literally put in caps, fuck, all the kids are dead. And I was like, I can't. I stopped. Like, I literally
You're
closed
just
my Kindle. I was
crying
like, fuck this. I'm going to bed.
and- yeah.
Good night. I'm out. I've never rage quit a book like not rage quit, just sad
Yes,
quit
like
almost.
in this moment, I
Yeah.
can't continue.
I was like, I could
It was
not.
rough. I was reading this chapter before bed, and I was like, I cannot go to sleep now.
I'm so
Like,
fortunate.
I
I
need to
did not read
distract
this
my
at
mind.
nighttime. I could not
Yeah.
have. The fact that you both read this before bed is
Yep.
wild.
It was like literally 2 a.m. I'm like, I need to sleep.
I
Yeah.
I
could
need to
not.
sleep, but I'm not now.
I could
Yep.
not.
I'm gonna go
Could
hug my
not.
kid in her bed while she sleeps because
Ugh,
that's just
Literally.
rough.
So
I think I opened my camera to look at mine. And I was like,
right, like you're
okay.
still freaking here. Like, oh man.
Awful.
As they were walking into the space, the priestess said, "They have all served a great purpose." And like that phrase was the most sickening thing that I could have ever
Yep.
imagined her saying. Like, she could have said anything,
Yep.
like, I don't know, like, I feel like anything else would have been better. Because what she said was in such sincerity that she
Mhm.
truly believes what happened was the right thing to have happened and was supposed to happen. And she believes so deeply that they served a purpose and that there was a point to all of this. And I was just like, that
Mhm.
is the most disgusting thing anyone could have
Yep.
said in that moment.
And
I
all
was-
Poppy senses from her is complete peace. Like
Yeah,
she's
I'm
so
like,
at peace.
How the
so
fuck
messed
are
up.
they so manipulated? Or like, what was said to them to make them be like, this is going to bring absolute peace? What the fuck?
That is
What
where
the
I'm
fuck?
at. I'm like, what could you have possibly been told? Unless you are being controlled. Like, unless
I
you
have
are
a
in
minor
your
theory about that.
mind.
I was like, there must be some kind of fucked up magic.
I wondered if it was some kind of primal magic that allows them to essentially become like mindless.
Like
minions.
soulless,
Yeah.
mindless. Like, there is no,
Mhm.
because they said
Mhm.
it can't feel. Maybe they actually can't. How else
Right.
do you get
Or
a society to continually basically do a genocide on freaking
Right.
children while you
Right.
take away their ability to feel, their ability to be
That-
human and souls? And
that emptiness goes with, like, Katie, if you're kind of saying that theory, like,
Mhm.
that they don't have that a soul or a part of them.
Mhm.
That might
Mhm.
explain the emptiness because their
It's
soul
like it's shut
is
off or
gone.
something.
yeah, like what
Yeah.
makes them human is non-existent.
Because I just
Yeah.
found it weird that all of them she was getting the exact same feeling from.
You're right.
I'm like, this almost seems like
Robot
purposeful.
almost.
I don't know.
Like,
yes,
like
yeah.
you're not your own person.
They were on autopilot.
You're all getting your essence from the same being, where there's not like
Mhm.
autonomy there. Because they were all
Mhm.
saying the exact same thing too.
Yep.
They'll serve a purpose. You serve a purpose. We serve a purpose. It's like, I
Mhm.
imagine this is going to be, I don't know, hopefully some comedic relief. I imagine the SpongeBob movie. This is terrible. Where,
With the
but-
jump bucket
yes, where they
hats.
all have it, and they're just like, all hail plankton. Like,
Yeah.
there's, you know
It's
what I
literally
mean, though?
what it feels like, though. Yes.
Because there is no other way that it could. That doesn't even make sense in my because it just nothing makes sense.
Right.
But there's no other
Right.
way that.
I just refuse to accept that anyone would be okay with this.
I know.
Even if this is out of Isbeth's like anger of what happened to her child, like you would never do that to other children. Like you
No.
would never. It's just not. It's not.
No.
no.
That I can't. I know. I can't finish my sentence. It's just not.
I think of like any of my nibblings, like your kids, all of them. I think of them getting bullied, and I'm like, I'm ready to drop gloves with the
Yes.
person's parents.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
That's just, and that's, bullying isn't great. Don't, you know.
terrible.
But compared to what we just read,
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
a pin
Oh.
in a haystack.
Yeah.
No, I will just be sitting in a sunny day and I'll be like, I will just imagine some terrible situation happening to my kids and I'll be sobbing on a made up, hasn't even happened before, like crazy out of this world thing that would only have a negative 5% chance of happening. And I'm like a sobbing mess and it didn't
Yep.
even happen. Like this
Yep.
is next level shit. Like next
Yep.
level. And there's so many people involved. Like there's like those psychopaths that you see that exist in real life where there's like serial killers and murders that do fucked up shit to children, to people. And it's like, okay, there's one fucking crazy, a whole nationality of people right now are in on this for the greater good. Like that's wild.
Like, even I watch a lot of docu-crime series. Like, I have a little obsession with them. Even though
You're like I'm low-key crazy.
If yeah, it's fine.
Today was
Even,
stressful. I'm just going to go turn on my murder shows to make me feel better.
Need some true crime here to go to sleep to.
Yeah, calm me down, you know?
Even, like, if you have a murderer that just does adults, if, like, someone that comes in that does stuff to child in their prison, you know what's happening to the person?
Yes.
There's a code among criminals that you don't touch children.
Even the
That's
sickest,
how, like, bad it is.
the sickest of sick people that are mutilating people to death are not cool with this. Like, that's how effed up this is. Like,
yes.
Yep. So the priestess' exact quote is, "They all served a great purpose, just like we all do, as you will, the one whose blood is full of ash and ice." And then Poppy starts to let the ether build within her because she's going to off with her head. And Kieran stops her and says, "Don't even waste your energy on her." And Poppy tells her, "Well, then just give her what she eagerly awaits." And Kieran walks away. Poppy walks away and she hears swords slicing through flesh.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they come out of the tunnels, and Vanessa asks what they're going to do with the temple itself, and Poppy says there's only one thing they can do, and she looks up and Reaver's like in the sky, and she's like, "Burn it," essentially giving anyone that, like, because a lot of them have become bones at this point, right?
Yeah.
But like, they could bring all the bodies out that they can. Kieran counts 71 of them. So fucked up. And then everyone else that's in that temple is just going to be burned.
There was
and
a
they
pit
can finally find
that they
peace.
threw rocks in and couldn't hear the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Val asks what they're going to do with the priests and priestesses. Poppy orders them to their knees and she grabs a sword. Fremont looks up at her and Poppy tells him to look at them, meaning the bodies of the children. Not at me, look at them. Poppy can sense that none of them feel any kind of guilt or remorse for their actions, only peace. He willingly looks at the children. They willingly took children to feed the Ascended, and they feel nothing but peace about their actions. So she says, "I want
these are
them
humans,
to be
right? These are not Ascended."
Literally, yes, literally. "I want them to be the last thing you see before you leave this realm and enter the abyss, because that is surely where you're heading. I want you to commit their bodies to memory, as it will be the last things that their families can claim, that the families that claim their own will see from this day forward. Look at them." Fremont looks at them and smiles. And I put, what the actual fuck? What the actual fuck?
Yeah.
He didn't suffer
So Poppy
long enough.
slices his throat, and I put, bye-bye.
No.
Bye-bye. Yeah. That was tough. Did not like
that was
this
a rough chapter.
It really was.
Sure was.
So they're back at Oak Ambler now, which has kind of become an infirmary for all that were injured during the battle. And Poppy notes that anyone who had surrendered, like any of the enemies that had surrendered and were not harmed, were being held and watched. And I put, Kristen, aren't you proud of her? She's learning.
Finally. Only took her how long?
Proud. I think I was still like, I didn't make note of that.
Oh, really?
You're like, "Mad, I'm just pissed."
I'm just,
I know.
not in it.
I know.
Oh, God.
So Poppy goes from person to person and is healing them. She's like, "I'm not sure if this is going to weaken me, but I have to do something helpful and distract my mind." So,
which I get, but if
Don't
you don't
blame
care about
her.
weakening yourself, you could have avoided this all by just.
I know.
The
Well, there
craven.
still would have been injured people because the attack leading, like, they didn't all get injured just from the Craven. Like,
That's
it was
true.
the whole battle scene before
That's
too,
true.
right? Because they lost like
Good
hundreds.
call.
Like they said,
Yeah, you're right. That true. We didn't see the whole battle. That's a good call.
Yes.
Good call.
5 Wolven and hundreds of Atlantian soldiers is what she'd said.
I need to like just call this my note out right before it says the 5 Wolven. She's like, I hadn't misunderstood what Reaver said. Only the primal of life could bring back those of 2 worlds. My note. I wonder if she's the primal of life somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but I'm wondering
I
if
have
she
thoughts
is.
on that too.
Whoa. Okay, hold a second. So Reaver said only the primal of life can bring back of
Yep.
two worlds?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because they have a conversation when she's in the kitchen eating all the ham, and she's like, "Yeah, I tried to save him," and he's like, "You knew it wasn't gonna work," and she's like, "I know, but I had to try," and he's like, and then I think he says like, only the primal of life can
And we
do
learned
that."
she's a primal, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I think I'm wondering if she's
Oh my
primal of life.
God.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
like, when
definitely
she-
had this theory before. Like, I think it's hinted at more
So
in
do
the
you
end, and
think,
I'm
like, let's say, because holy shit, let's say, sorry, I'm just like, whoa, didn't consider this either. And now my brain's like, if this is true and she is this, do you think that the reason she couldn't save Arden was either A, because she didn't truly believe she could, because she was told she
I think
couldn't,
it's the
therefore
culling.
she couldn't, or that's my second thing, or the culling. Okay.
Yeah, I think when she goes through the culling, she'll have full power.
Yep.
And then the
Yep.
joining won't have to happen, even though it really doesn't make sense because of our whole plot hole thing we can't figure out. But yay for that maybe not having to
But
happen.
yay!
Look at the good news we're getting right now. Okay. Woo. not catch
So
that.
Poppy and Nail are now at Sage's bedside, and she had repeatedly sent Poppy away, like, go help other people, go help other people. Meanwhile, she got a freaking arrow in her leg.
Arrow.
So Delano is like, okay, I'm gonna pull it out, you're gonna heal. So they do the thing, they heal her, she's all better. And they all look up, and Reaver is walking in his mortal form with nothing but a sheet wrapped around him. And she's never seen him. Sage has never seen him in his mortal form.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, who is that? And Poppy explains, like, Reaver the Drake and whatever. And she responds with, yum. I just thought it was funny.
I have to just appreciate his almost comic relief.
Yes.
In this
Yes,
situation.
I love
There's
Reaver.
these sections, I'm like, Reaver, I need more of you.
Yes.
I absolutely adore you.
He is so
Yes.
good. And I love again
him.
the audio, like the narrator of his voice, like the way I love it. Love
Yes,
his voice.
same.
Love his
And
voice.
Poppy says, we really need to find you all some clothing. And Reaver goes, you people and your nudity issues. And Sage responds, I have absolutely no problem with nudity. Just thought I'd share.
In case you're wondering, I'm cool with it.
Go ahead and be
I
naked.
love it.
So good.
So this is when Poppy stands up and she gets dizzy and almost falls over. And then I put, uh-oh, she's draining her power.
I'm just
And
like,
so
oh,
Poppy,
no.
Poppy's like, I'm fine. I'm just hungry. I'm just tired. And
Which could, like in a normal situation, that could cause that.
yeah, but
Mhm.
not if you're God.
Yeah. True. I don't think God cares so much about that. Blood sugar, not really an issue. Having enough blood to sustain your ether, issue.
Yep. So Poppy and Reaver are eating alone, and Poppy's reflecting on all that they lost in the battle. She says that she tried to save Arden even though she knew it wouldn't work, but she had to try. And Reaver says the consort also didn't like limitations. And she's like, I don't have problem with limitations. And he's like, I haven't known you for long, but you have problems with limitations.
I love
I
it.
just thought it was really funny.
It is.
Yes.
So
So
good.
then Poppy asks if Nyktos would be mad at her for saving all of these lives.
Mhm.
And Reaver chuckles and says that he would be both thrilled about saving a life as well as worried about the balance of things. And I feel like one of you had talked about this, about the balance of life. And I can't remember who it was.
I think we both, I don't know if I said the balance of life, but I said something.
Said the circle of life.
Because
I remember.
I made a comment about maybe every time she saves someone, like it balances out how many
Yes.
people she has to
Yeah.
kill, or like, you know what I mean? Because
Yes.
she's like, oh my God, I've killed all
Yeah.
these people. And like maybe there has to be an equalness to that.
Yes, like a life for a life.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he says the consort would have done it anyways as well. And then I go into chapter's end.
So,
So-
go ahead, Christian.
Mine's after chapter's end.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. So, in the conversation that Poppy and Reaver have, when he talks about the consort, he compared Poppy to her again, and I don't know why. I just assume the consort is this really great, wonderful thing, and
Yeah,
I
me
love
too.
when there's a comparison between Poppy and the consort, even though
Yes.
we could learn that
I'm
she's evil.
suspicious. Of
Are
the
you?
consort.
See, I'm like, oh, I love. Of course, I'm surprised. I'm not. It's like,
Oh my god!
We lost.
We can't even trust Mother Earth now.
so when she saved her from falling off the cliff, it was because of ill intention.
later.
No, I need you alive to help be mass
I
destruction.
want to kill you later.
But no, do you know what? In all fairness, they, especially because the end of the chapter close here and what they say about
Yes.
her, it basically sounds like if you wake up, you'll be just as evil as Isbeth. That's kind of the like
Yes.
implications there. So I don't disagree with Kristen there, but at least she's sleeping, so she can't do it. So I love her.
Yes. I want to like her. Does that count?
Yes, it does. Just like I want.
No,
Valyn
because you
to
said
not
that
be
about all of
sad.
them.
I feel like I had one more note here before chapter's end. I'm just reading Prime of Life. We talked about that. Oh, when we're talking about like the balance of things and saying how Nyktos would only be concerned about the balance of life and death and keeping things fair because they specifically said fairness. And I'm thinking if that's the case and that's what Nyktos is concerned about, they would be so out of balance right now with what the Ascended has been doing that there
Yup.
could never be enough lives that she brings back. Like she'd have to save 1 million people and it would still be out of
Literally.
balance from what the Ascended
Literally.
have done at this
Mhm.
point.
Because it's been going on for centuries.
Yes, exactly. So like relax that you saved somebody because many more need
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
happen to
You got
talk
a lot
about
of red to
fairness,
work yourself
like-
out of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Red. Red.
So chapter closed so we can get into Kristen's consort situation here. While Poppy and Reaver are eating in the kitchen and discussing what has been going on, the very last thing they discuss is a consort, and Reaver compares the consort to Poppy, and Poppy asks, why does she sleep when Nyktos doesn't? Like, what's the cause of all this, basically? And Reaver says she sleeps because it's the only way to stop her. And then I have in caps, what does this mean?
That was my. I'm
Yep.
like, okay, that quote is very ominous. What's it stopping her from?
Very-
Is she corrupt? Is she not corrupt? But if she's awake, she upsets the balance of life. I was very. I'm like,
Ooh.
I don't like it.
Because what's Colas? Who's the Solis guy?
Colas.
Colas?
Yeah.
He's the whatever of death, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe while he's locked away, she maybe is like the no, because we think Poppy might be the primal of life. Because if she was the whatever of life, maybe while one sleeps, the other can't be awake, or the balance will be whatever. But I was thinking when they say the only way to stop her, I just assumed, well, both of her children are gone right now, and I thought that she would just raise havoc on the realms,
Right.
similar to
That's how I
Isbeth,
took it too.
to find her kids. Like, so like we would not be able to literally stop her from mass murdering everybody until she finds her children. But
Yeah.
I also think
that's
that's
a red flag.
I think
though.
I totally agree. Totally
That's
agree.
why I'm suspicious.
Agree.
Red.
But
Yeah, red.
a part of me feels like that's what we're supposed to believe. We're supposed to
Yeah.
think that. So I also think maybe that's not the case.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Anywho,
don't know.
that's all we get
Anyone
about the
else?
consort. So no.
Okay. All right, chapter 17. So we start the chapter off with Reaver explaining his comment about how angry the consort is and her sons being taken from her and what she might do in anger. So, Amanda
Yep.
and Katie, if you said that, you guys nailed it.
Woo!
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah, because he says like she's angry enough to forget who she is and angry enough to cause harm that cannot be undone.
Which
and I
is-
put, this sounds like world-ending shit.
That's foreshadowing too
Yep.
to the conversation that Poppy has internally about herself even.
Yes.
So interesting because I
Yep.
didn't pick that up
I was
until
like-
just now.
My first comment was I'm starting to more and more feel like there are strong parts of consort that are in Poppy and that the
Yeah.
visions might be the consort speaking to Poppy, hoping she doesn't make the same mistakes, like hoping that Poppy doesn't make the same mistakes that the consort did.
I low-key still believe in my reincarnation theory that the consort waking up could be her going through the culling and it is her reincarnated and that the consort is the primal of life and Poppy is the primal of life. And she's been sending herself like messages, saving herself and
Yeah.
also like
Especially now that we know reincarnation is an
Yes.
actual reincarcerated is a real thing.
reincarcerated. But even her seeing her with her arms coming up saying this isn't the way it was
Yes.
supposed to be, like I
Mhm.
still like I don't know if I for sure think that, but I still am grasping
You
on
can
that,
see a
that
world where it happens.
Yes.
I
You got
think
it.
I started to think that more
as
this chapter.
Yep.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Who?
Who are you?
So Reaver says that her Wolven is approaching again, and she repeats he's not hers. And then I put in exact words, the boys are having a pissing match about their sizes because Reaver says that Reaver will not fit into Kieran's clothes because he is bigger than him.
So
I loved this interaction.
I have
Just like,
notes
I
about
need
this.
more.
So I have notes here. We're talking about Kieran's clothes, and the way Reaver is being so rude to Kieran is actually really funny. So Reaver says, I have broad shoulders. I don't have twig legs. Your clothes won't fit me. And it's funny because Kieran is always on the side of giving sass. And I mean, with Poppy, like the sass goes both ways. Like he gives it back to her, but with Reaver, it's different. It's like he's witty enough with Poppy to sass back in the same way, but it almost puts Kieran in like the submissive and less dominant position with Reaver.
Yes.
And you can almost tell that like Kieran's like, I don't know how to get out of this. Like, I don't know like what to do here. And it's quite funny because Reaver's hilariously like dry in his like personality. And Kieran's trying to like pop his chest, but he doesn't know how to do it when like Reaver just doesn't give a shit, you know?
And then Poppy jumps in. She goes, you guys are the same fucking size.
Like, yes. Like, could you just stop? Now, I have a note here. Is anybody else feeling that Kieran is seeming to be jealous of Reaver when it comes to Poppy? Or is that just me? And I can explain
like about his closeness with her, you mean?
Kind of. Like almost in a overstepping way, like a Kieran, you're not her mate type way. Because I found, so I only say this because Kieran makes a comment. So Poppy asks something along the lines of like, what are you doing here? Were you looking for me? And I think Reaver is like, obviously he's looking for you. And Kieran's all like, I could have been doing anything, but I definitely am not dressed in barely nothing eating an apple. And it's like, I just found it weird because normally they talk on and on about how Kieran and the wolves don't care about nakedness, don't care about this. And he makes a point to say like, well, I know I wouldn't be sitting here with just a sheet on my body. And I felt that like a little, I'm like, is this
like he
jealousy?
Like he was jealous that he was
like,
naked around Poppy?
Yes. I'm like, why does he care? It just it was a weird thing to say when you don't give a shit about nakedness and that sort of thing. Like, why even comment on the way he was dressed and the fact that there wasn't much there?
I didn't take it that way. I think I took it more as like just Kieran trying to like get the upper hand with Reaver.
Just trying
like,
to be witty
and you shouldn't be like,
Got you. Yeah, because
that's how I read it. I have not picked up personally on like jealousy there, but
that was the only time. So I'm like, am I like, is this something that's happening here? Or am I just again like, because obviously I'm like way into thinking it, and I was really proud that by chapter 17 I haven't had a crazy rage rant on Kieran because there's a couple things. And
I know. Is Manda gonna?
I have like, I'm really trying to see, because even before I read this note, but when she was trying to save Arden and then he puts Poppy's knuckles to his lips, and I'm like,
yes,
he's just trying to be sweet. He's just trying to be sweet. He's just trying to be sweet. Don't make it more than it is. But it's really weird for a friend to kiss your knuckles, but it's fine. I'm gonna don't freak out about it. But I wouldn't kiss any of your knuckles probably because it seems strange.
Don't you also do that to royalty though? You kiss their hand?
Maybe. Yeah. So my point is,
I'm grasping at straws.
My point is, I was very proud, and like chapter 16 was such a fucking downer that I was like, I don't have the energy to rage at this point because it's either check out or so. I'm just like, whatever. Everything compared to that is fine.
Feel
that.
Yeah. So Kieran comes up to Poppy after the interaction with Reaver and says he needs her magic hands, magic touch. I forget how he worded it.
Yeah.
To come help Perry, who has an arrow that went clean in and out of his shoulder. Kieran says that Perry left Messina, and Poppy throws in that must have been where Delano had left too. And I'm like, oh no, what does that mean? I don't like it.
I thought them going to their room was going to be a trap. I'm like, I'm worried.
Oh, really?
I'm worried.
Oh, you were that sus about them. Ooh,
Yep.
Interesting.
I don't
So Poppy-
want to be.
No,
but
I get it.
what-
No, honestly, I feel like rightfully so. Like any sus at this point is so freaking justified considering what has happened so far that
Well, and she's kind of held it over our heads that there's this mole and we just still don't know who
Yes.
it is.
Yeah.
yes.
So it's like we're just considering literally everyone on the page. So it's Jennifer's fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
So where was I here?
Ran
So
off.
Poppy gets up to go with Kieran, and Reaver says that Poppy got dizzy, like he's telling.
I love that. Like,
Me
what
too.
are you, 5? Just so you know, Kieran Poppy got dizzy. And she's like, what the fuck? Reaver?
She's like, Reaver.
He's like, well, you did.
And so Kieran doesn't like it and says, maybe you should just sit this one out. She's like, I'm fine. And
So
then Kieran
before
wonders if
we go
Poppy needs to feed.
I
I was worried about that.
You're welcome. That's how I feel about that.
For those who couldn't make it out from listening, Amanda just fake vomited.
So in the conversation prior, Katie, were you getting like Delano's the mole vibes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it was weird that she says Delano ran off during like the attack, right? And then
Mhm.
nothing else happens of that.
And because you guys made me, I didn't read this note when we were at that part, but you guys made me all freaking sus of Val. And when they're,
Sorry,
are
guys.
you okay?
No, I'm so sorry. I just punched that. Ow. I don't know why. I don't even know what I was trying to do, but sorry, folks. Punch the mic.
Amanda's like, fuck this.
Boom. Oh God. See, I'm getting into the rage. I need to calm down. I was doing so good. And now I'm taking my socks off. I'm getting too hot. I need to Ooh. I need to cool down over here. The blanket.
Ginormous
Get it out of here.
Sound.
I am.
Yeah, I just
Jesus
punched it. And I don't know.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay.
Ooh, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Oh man.
Okay. Ooh.
We all needed that laugh.
Yep.
I'm glad to be of service.
Okay, I'm gonna back up my thought here there for a minute. So when you guys were making me all sus of Val, I was gonna say this note and I didn't. But now that we're here about Delano was the one that was with King Val when he came out and said, "Oh yeah, there's no one here. Tunnels are empty."
So
It was
he could have
Delano that was
told
with him.
Valyn that. Because in this note I have too about like, oh my God, is Delano the mole? I put that's so sus that he ran off during the attack. And then
Yep.
I put, I don't want to admit this so early yet, but Valyn, when they were in the chamber with the children, his emotions broke through the shield to
Yep.
Poppy.
And they do
And
a few times.
Yes, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, if he knew all of this was going on and was on the side of Senate, he would feel peace and all of that bullshit.
Right.
But I'm
right.
like, I don't want to say yet that I trust him, just in case he's sus still.
So in case he stabs you in the
But
heart.
this is the first time that I'm like, okay, that to me is a big indicator that he is on the right side. Like I felt good. And then I'm like, but now Delano's the mole. Like I instantly was like, that is so sus that he ran off.
Yeah.
And because
I know.
doesn't he have to follow the NOTAM? Like if she's like, guys, be
only
fighting here. Like
The only thing, because I thought, okay, well, how can this be spun so that it's not bad?
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of was that maybe he knew Perry was hurt, and so he left to go to Perry because they are in the relationship.
correct.
So I'm like, maybe he was leaving to go to Perry,
Correct.
and in which case that's okay.
Yes. I
But-
agree.
We can hope.
I agree.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So after Kieran asks Poppy if she needs to feed and she says no, they go into the room and Delano is reading.
The book.
And my
Amazing.
note is all in caps. Bah! Delano reading the book! Because I laughed very
So,
hard.
At this point, I'm thinking, okay, this is so funny. And I said, we needed this comedic relief at
We
this
did.
point, first of all.
We did.
But I don't think, like, this doesn't seem like it was just here for that. I feel like we're going to either learn more about Willa Collins, because they kept asking things. They said, like, did you know it was Willa Collins? Did you read the book before you met her or after you met her? And I'm like, well, this doesn't even matter to the storyline. Like, it's one thing to have the book in haha, it's funny, but then to continue asking these questions, I'm like, this has to mean something
It's
more.
going somewhere.
And I started speculating that this is probably like grasping for straws, but as you know, I've been sus of Willa. So I don't know if I'm unsus of her yet with this theory. So I think that maybe since she's a seer, maybe she knew that Poppy would happen upon this diary. Okay. And maybe there's some sort of secret code in the diary or some sort of message or some people or something that because Willa knew Poppy would happen across it, that there will actually be something in this diary that's going to help them. And that makes me think that she's not sus. That's why I'm like, I don't know. Or maybe it would hinder them. But I just feel there's more to this. Like, I can't.
Like, there's more to the book than just comedic relief.
I think so. Especially because they started asking questions about, like, did you know it was her? When did you find out? And but it could be totally nothing.
I was always like, I hope I'm wrong, but I had wondered sometimes if like the book was a stepping stone to get us used to like a threesome or like some other sexual acts that we're not gonna like at first.
Yeah.
Or at all, potentially.
Right. There definitely has been like up to this point. Like, there's things now that Kieran does. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. And I'm like, why?
I know.
Why? Like, it's been normalized in this relationship. Like,
I know.
Oh.
Yep. So Perry is laying on the bed and he's like, I don't need to be healed. It's fine. I'll heal eventually. And Delano's like, shut up. You need to be healed. And so Poppy heals him, and you can see like the relief on his face. And then Delano and Perry start kissing after, and I'm like, that's so cute, because they're like just so relieved that he feels better.
Yeah,
I thought it was cute.
Days in love.
So then it shifts to nighttime. Poppy's lying awake in her bed, thinking about what could have turned Isbeth into the monster that she is. And she worries that she too could become that, given how mad that she already was when Cass was taken. She admits she had already come close once. And then I put, don't you love the self-awareness, Amanda?
Oh, I have a whole novel about it if you'd like to hear.
Go.
Okay. I love this growth in Poppy right now because she is finally admitting to herself that she could be a monster and almost was one. She's questioning things. And at first she's like, how could Isbeth do this? How could anybody justify what's been happening? Like, how can somebody live with themselves after doing all these horrific things? But then she starts to think about what happened to Isbeth with the death of her son and then the death of Malek, because as far as Isbeth was concerned, he did die. So Isbeth lived through a confirmed death of her child and a confirmed death of her heartmate, right? As far as she knows. And then Poppy thinks, I almost did what Isbeth did in the sense of like killed the innocents out of my rage. And Cass wasn't even dead. Like, she knew he was still alive and she almost did that. And Isbeth's son did die. Malek did die to her. And she acknowledges that she could turn into a monster, and then also acknowledges that she could be a monster capable of more than what Isbeth was capable of. And I think that this is a big realization moment that personally I needed, but that we needed to feel that there is some sense that probably can prevent that from happening. And I think it's what we needed to see to know that she's going to go on a different path than her mother. And to add to this, Poppy then says, I admit that not only could I become her, but I can be worse than her, and that maybe that's what Isbeth is trying to do to her. Like, she's even thinking, Isbeth might know I could be worse than her. And
like, am I falling into her trap?
Yes, and I'm like, oh, finally. Like, finally. Yes, because I'm like, what is happening to you, Poppy? Like, you are going down the same path, and she didn't realize it. And that was the biggest part for me, is that it was so hypocritical that she's like, Isbeth, how could she? How could she? And then she's like almost doing it. And I'm so glad that she is in that position right now where she can make conscious decisions to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that's the huge difference between her and her mother.
I was thinking about you big time reading this part. I'm like, man, that's going to be so happy.
It is what I needed, honestly. I needed that so bad. So
back on Team Poppy?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was always Team Poppy. I was just like, Poppy, no! Don't do this to me.
But I found like reading that whole scene, like was hard because like how much that must like hurt her.
Yes.
But I'm like,
Mhm.
her thinking about that also I feel like not ensures, but like
Yeah.
it's really going to show that she's consciously aware of this, so like she's less likely to fall
Right.
down that same path.
It makes her a good person. Really. Like that's the
Yes.
difference between her and Isbeth is that there's intention and her intentions are well intended, Poppies. It might not be what
Mhm.
she ends up doing, but the deep
Mhm.
down, the soul of who she is intention is
Yes.
on the side of good. And
Yep.
that's huge in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
So Poppy is like silently screaming to herself because she just can't take the thoughts that she's thinking. And Kieran wakes up and immediately shifts into mortal form. And he's like holding her with her head resting under his chin.
again, he's naked, right? Because he just shifted.
Mhm.
I didn't
Yep,
rage about it,
butt
but
naked.
just so you know. Book naked. Naked the
Naked
booty.
the booty.
With her head on his chest, under his chin. It's
Yep.
fine. Totally fine. Not even mad. See? Look at me go.
Poppy backs up and says, I need you to promise me something because you are the only one I can trust to do this. She says if she loses Castile or if she loses herself and becomes something capable of the devastation they saw yesterday, she needs him to put her into the ground and stop her. Use the bone chains. She says, you know that Cass would never be able to do it. And Kieran is feeling like she can sense like intense anger and anguish coming from him.
Mhm.
And she tells him to find out how Ilowana did it to Malik and do that to her if the time ever comes. She knows that Cass will be mad, but knows that he would also never hurt him. And she apologizes for putting him in this position. But she says she can't become something capable of leveling cities. She would never
Mhm.
be able to live with herself. And then I just put, I really don't like this foreshadowing.
But it
I
was huge. Go ahead,
yeah.
Kristen.
I hope it's not
I
foreshadowing.
wasn't thinking foreshadowing either, but I mean, now
I think
you're
it's
making me worry.
showing. I'm hoping it's just showing that she is like thinking about this and like putting steps into place so she is not repeating the past.
That's
Like
how
this
I felt too.
Whole scene made me so sad. I put a bunch of crying emojis. Because there's the pain in Kieran, how hard it must be for Poppy.
Yes.
But I'm like, it's just proving even more that she's not like them.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
this meant to me at this point. Like, I mean, maybe I'm being naive and I should be more worried about foreshadowing considering the way Jennifer L. Armentrout has been writing. But I felt again that this was another huge moment for Poppy. She literally said, I will take death over doing what Isbeth did. Like that huge. Like it's, and again, I don't think she's saying die because it's really hard to kill a god, but arguably being in those shackles could be a fate worse than death. That she is
Right.
literally like, put me there. That is what I want over doing what Isbeth did. Like
Right.
basically, Kieran, put me out of my misery if that's what I become. And
Right.
Yeah.
like that was a huge ask of her. And I feel like big character growth that I was finally happy to see her take accountability and measures to prevent what could become.
Yeah.
So that kind of ends our chapter. Anyone have anything else?
Nope.
No.
Mm-mm.
So chapter ends. Kieran agrees to Poppy. Well, I guess promises Poppy. That was a weird sentence. That no matter what, if she becomes like Isbeth or a danger to others, he will chain her up so she cannot harm innocents.
And I like how he also adds in, like, you don't give yourself enough credit.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I believe that you're going to be able to stop yourself
Yeah.
if it ever comes to that.
Yes.
And I think that's
I like
promising too. Him saying that,
Yes.
I think,
yes.
kind of like brings us back to like, okay, this isn't just like hopeless like she is.
Right.
He believes in her. She needs to believe in herself, and that there is a path forward here where that does not happen.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mhm.
All right. We good with that chapter?
Yep.
All right. Chapter 18. Before we dive into this one, we're going to add another trigger warning here. It does touch very heavily on child loss, which obviously is very traumatic. So if this is something that triggers you, just take our notes and join us in chapter 19, where things get really interesting. Chapter 19 is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
So, just going to start off with that. Okay, so chapter 18 opens. Poppy and Val are talking about their meeting ahead of talking with the people. Poppy is thinking about all of the families that they brought back to Oak Ambler ahead of the rest of the town, the ones that asked them to find their kids. Poppy remembers the despair and heartbreak each time a parent identified one of their children. And I put, fuck me, this is heartbreaking.
As soon as like it opens and like they're like the parents are coming in, I'm like, oh, okay, getting ready to ball. Thanks.
Yeah,
You're like, okay,
literally.
now I know. I'm just gonna stop
Yep.
here.
Yep, I'm gonna cry.
See, I had so many thoughts about this because, like, it's so sad because what's happening to these families is, like, a part of me feels like this is almost a disservice to them because what they're
Mhm.
doing is basically putting that image of their child as the last version of their child in their head for forever. And a part of me hates that for these families and thinking, like, why? Like, just burn the bodies, tell them what you found, and don't let them live with the horror of seeing their children that way. However,
Mhm.
because that's like a really, like, I can't even fathom, right?
Mhm.
However, I also think to myself, like, if this were me and somebody said, like, your child was here, we burned the bodies, I would honestly be in denial. And I would always think
Mhm.
maybe my child got out. Maybe there was a
Yeah.
hope and an inkling that I'll still find my child. And it does
Mhm.
get rid of that false hope there. And
I would also be pissed that I didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah, same.
Yes, that's a good call too. And it also helps to show the truth about the Ascended because it could all be a lie. They could lie that they found these children. But like a part of me was
Right.
like, just the heartbreak that that's the
I
last
know.
way to see your
Well, that's what
child.
Poppy
Like,
was trying to like
I
imprint on
know.
the priest. They're like, look at them. Like, this is the last thing their
Yes.
families are ever going to see. Like, think about that. Like, look at them and think about that.
And they're like,
And the
Mhm.
fucker just smiled.
smiles. God.
Awful.
So yeah, I'm like,
I get like
Awful.
not
Yeah.
good chills.
No.
Just you saying that
no,
again.
I
terrible.
know. Honestly.
Oh.
So Val says that a bunch of the people want to leave the city, but he doesn't believe that they should be allowing them to do so. And Poppy says that's what the Ascended did, and we will not be the same as them. She says if they want to leave, they should have that right to do so. But we do need to remind them of the risks because of the Craven and stuff. If they still insist on leaving, then they are to allow it because they are not going to control free will.
Yeah, like
which
I was really
liked.
surprised that again, sus ass Valyn is like, we shouldn't let them leave, and it's like, I get like when you're like doing something for their own safety, but there's a part where it's like, if they want these risks, like who are you
Mhm.
to? They were literally
Yeah.
living under the Ascended that were just picking them off willingly while they were there. Like you
Right.
can't get more unsafe than living in the Ascended with the Ascended, and that's what they've been doing their whole lives. Like,
Right.
Mhm.
let them be.
Right.
Let them do as
Yep.
they wish.
I spent most of this chapter, I'm like really hoping Valyn is good because like he talks to Poppy, like he kind of says like you don't have to do this. Like I think he kind of hints maybe he could do it for her.
Mhm.
And I'm like, he's trying to take some of that burden off of
Yes.
her is the vibe I
Yes,
got from
I
him.
agree with you on that.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I really hope
I
he's
know.
good.
I'm like,
I
hopefully
know.
this is also further proof that he's
Yeah.
not sus.
Yeah. Val says to her, you don't have to shoulder all of this burden. That's why you have an advisor. That's why you have a regent. Like, if you want either of them to do this on your behalf, like they would. And Poppy says she wouldn't ask them to bear those marks on her. She says
Mhm.
that then she asks him, like, if you were still the king, would you have allowed someone to do this for you? And that's when he's like, no. And yeah.
Yeah.
So Poppy's like, I'm unsure of what to tell them. And Val says, just tell them what you told us. That you're not a conqueror and that you're not here to take. So she goes to leave and Val says, Penelope, my son is very lucky to have you. And Poppy can sense pride coming from him. And I'm
Right.
like,
Not a shield.
is he good?
Pride.
And I don't think this is a throwaway comment because Poppy says, we're both lucky. And she swore the ring warmed against her skin.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that's a throwaway comment.
Ooh, I
Yes.
agree with you. Huh. Interesting.
So they kind of lottie-dod over Poppy's speech.
I
but
was
essentially,
surprised.
I know, because there was a lot of lead up to it in this chapter.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, and I went out and told them just what Vala told me to say. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Anticlimactic? Okay.
Guess that's it.
But what did you say?
Yeah. So it shifts over to Poppy, Kieran, and Val in a room afterwards. And Val and Kieran are drinking, and Poppy is pacing, unable to sit still. Which, like, same. That would be me. That would definitely be me.
Yeah. I, at this point, randomly started thinking, I don't even know what cued this because I'm like even looking over the chapter. I'm like, I don't know. But I have a crockpot theory.
Ooh, fun.
And this is before we find out what the victors are. I said it's not completely fleshed out, but there is a reason Poppy. Is there a reason Poppy can now sense things from Valyn? My mind almost goes like a god, or he lost his power outside of Atlantia. But I know with gods in the mortal realm, like they can't use their magic. So I'm like, is there something there? But I don't. It's not fully fleshed out. But I'm
Okay.
like, there's something with
How
Valyn.
crazy. I don't think that this checks out, but how crazy would it be? No, they're twins, aren't they? I was like, what if Valyn is Iris? And the reason he came was to like fight Malek on the
That
other
would
side?
be all kinds of fucked up. Because that's Cass's dad and Poppy's dad. If that's Iris.
Okay.
Please
Ignore
stop.
this. Yeah. See, I'm
I
like,
love
don't-
you, but no.
Yeah, no. See, I hadn't even thought this through. I'm like, maybe this. No, I take that
Like,
back.
no, I'm going to stop you right there.
I take it back. I don't think that.
Maybe that's why she's trying to set Poppy up with Kieran, because actually Cass is his brother.
God. Okay. No. We're done here. We're done here.
I would rather experience the joining.
Yes.
Thank you.
Same Z's. But talking about Kieran and the joining, when Poppy is pacing back and forth and Kieran is like complaining that she's being distracting and annoying and whatever, and then finally she sits down and she's like, happy now? And he's like, no. And then she's like, I want to punch you in the face. And he goes, like a love tap. And I'm like, no, thank you, Kieran. Don't talk like that. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yes. That is all. Yep.
So Val says he can't help but think about the prophecy that Fremont had said, and wonders again if it is Malek. He says that he had sent word to Evimon, and hopes to hear back from them by the time that they are all reunited. He asks Poppy and Kieran if they plan to travel through the Blood Forest, and then my note is, damn you both for making me sus, because now I can't help but think downtown.
I know. It's funny because I'm kind of the opposite but the same. I said at this point I'm really starting to trust Valyn more, but I'm feeling a little leery about him and them telling exactly where they're going and what they're going to do. Like, I don't feel that trusting yet.
Yeah.
So I was not feeling good about.
But Kieran doesn't like straight up tell him. He just says we're going to get as close as possible or something to
Yes.
that effect.
And I was super proud. I'm like, look at them actually making a plan before they go marching in and taking Cass. Like,
Man was like, slow clap.
so much growth. So much growth in these chapters. I'm like, man, finally. Look at them.
So Val says the path forward will be dangerous and that word of their capture of Oak Ambler will travel fast and that like they said, it will start moving their armies.
Yes.
He says that it will take about a fortnight to get to Carcedonia, and Poppy says we
Sorry,
were
break into
forever
song.
young. And Poppy says that they will meet him and they will have Cass in tow, and he says he believes that because he believes in her. And I'm like, please be
I
good.
know. Please don't rip my heart out.
Right?
Please. No.
And he says that he will make her a promise. Your wishes will be carried out on our end. The region won't have any problems with the generals, and we will take down no rises and will not be the cause of innocents losing their lives.
That sentence, just as I'm re-listening to it, gives me more like Victor vibes. Yep. I'm getting it. I am picking up what Jennifer, I hope, is throwing down.
I am picking up this theory that I'm going to get a check mark on.
They both start with V.
Yep.
Yep.
Love it.
So Val asks how they are expecting to find and rescue Cass and what their plan is. And when Kieran essentially says, I don't know, Poppy can sense worry and concern coming from Val. And Val says, it's a large city and a lot of Ascended are there and it's not going to be easy. And then Poppy shoots up and goes, magic! I'm like, yes, as anyone would do. That's yes.
Right?
I'm like, why are you just
Honestly.
thinking about
Again,
magic?
it's kind of one of those how convenient that like all of a sudden you're like, oh
I'm like,
yeah,
you just
magic.
talked about magic with like
Oh,
Perry
yeah.
Delano
Oh yeah.
a while ago. I'm like, that should be at the forefront of your mind.
I'm like, oh yeah, magic.
So they go off to find Sven, who is not a reindeer in this series.
I know, right? It's like I can't even hear the name without thinking of.
I know.
Sven the
Like, where's
reindeer.
Olaf?
Now, I have a note here before they meet with Sven, but it's kind of confusing because it relates to when they meet with Sven. So I think that, is it Perry? Is it Perry's dad? Am I getting the Wolven
Yes.
right?
Yep. And my next note is Sven, so go into it.
Okay, so I think Perry alluded to from his memory. He's like, I think that there's a primal magic to help them locate Castile or something. I need to talk to my dad, Sven, but he says, I think we need blood and something dear to him, because I think that was mentioned before. And the first thing, did anybody else have any speculations on this? Because I felt it was the most obvious thing, and they didn't even use it.
The horse?
No,
The ring?
The ring.
Oh,
His wedding ring.
Yes, I'm like, I'm like, okay, they have both things. Did they not cut themselves and bleed on the ring? I'm like, there's Cass's blood, and there's the ring.
And
most dear to him.
It's a sign of his marriage
How is
with Poppy.
Yes, nothing can be more dear to him than the symbol of them unionizing. That's the dumb way to say it. Unionizing themselves. And I was so sure. And then they don't. And I'm like, I was so mad. I had 5 notes of
Same.
The ring. Why?
This is when I was like, this just seems too convenient. When she's like, oh, I picked up this horse, but I don't know why I picked it up. And now it's like, oh, look, I picked it up so I can do this thing. I'm like, you could have done the fucking ring.
Yes. It literally does feel like at this point, Jennifer's like, okay, I got to go back half a book and write in, oh, I grabbed a horse and a horse and a horse. Perfect. Now we got a horse.
Yes.
I'm like,
yes. I'm like, I don't get it. It's like, I never knew why I picked this up. And I'm like, well, clearly to do the fucking spell now.
It's so funny. Yeah, that was my, so also.
I raged.
You and me both here, man. I was also thinking, if spells exist, why hasn't Isbeth used a locate spell for Malek? I know that he's presumed dead, but he wasn't always presumed dead. It was just
he might have now.
But, well, yes. But I'm saying before that, though, before Poppy confirmed he was alive and he was presumed dead, the only reason she was like, well, he's dead is because he never came back. So, let's say that happens. You're expecting the love of your life to come back. She obviously knows primal magic exists because she's been using it. Why didn't she go, oh my gosh, he hasn't come back yet. I'll just primal magic locate.
Maybe she didn't know about it then.
Maybe.
Or
because that was
if he
right after she
too
turned.
close to death. I wonder if, because
or maybe she tried
how long he was changed.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
But I'm just I don't know. That just seems
maybe
strange.
that's why she got into primal magic, is to try and find him.
Maybe. And then so also I kind of have a second theory on that. So I can go in with the Sven stuff right now.
Yeah.
So, okay, so they're with Sven right now, and they're trying to see if there's a way to use primal magic to locate Cass. And I have a couple thoughts and theories on this, because Sven was saying how you're not supposed to use primal magic as it could change the fates, and that could come at a cost. Poppy basically thinks to herself, well, the Blood Crown has been using it, and they haven't had any repercussions. And I'm thinking, what a naive thing. Are you kidding me, Poppy? I'm just going to do it because they haven't had any repercussions. listen, maybe... First of all, that is such an assumption, because maybe Isbeth used primal magic. We know she is right now using it. But maybe once upon a time, before she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Maybe that's why her life's all fucked up.
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe she used it because either she wanted to bring her son back to life, or she wanted to find Malek because he didn't come back. And then as a result, think about the way the world is right now. With the corruption and the path that her life has been put on could have been a direct result of her using primal magic. And Poppy's like, they never had anything bad happen to them. Are you kidding? Look at their kingdom. It's a shit show and a half. So I'm just like, oh my God, this is going to turn into something, because they're going to use the stupid primal magic, and it's going to cause a huge issue. So anyways, they said that they need the blood of the item, and in this case, the person, and something they hold dear to themselves. So again, I'm like, did they not both bleed on the ring? So does that count as having his blood? And the ring is also a cherished item. So they're going to have his blood and his cherished item all in one. And then they talk about the horse. I'm like, this is so dumb. They're not even thinking about the ring. And then I go, the fucking toy horse again? Why not the fucking ring? Wouldn't that be what he cherishes most? And then I'm just like, I'm out. Use a stupid horse.
Stupid horse.
You think that's his most cherished item? Right. I'm so annoyed by it. So annoyed.
That's so funny.
So
they also mention, you talk about the fates, but in the book it says array, ARAE. I'm like, have they ever mentioned that word before?
No,
I
don't think so.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Arrays?
This particular book, we have heard that word. And
over
and
my
Poppy's
head.
like, what does that mean? And they're like, it's the fates.
Oh, yeah, that went over my head as well.
It went
I
over
thought
my
they
head.
said the fates specifically here, but maybe
I think they do
I just
say
ass-
fates again.
okay.
There's so many times in my notes where they say the array, and I'm like, nah, I'm just writing the fates.
That's so funny. I
I
did not
literally never remember hearing that
I
before.
didn't.
I'm like, what
I
the fuck
took
is
it
this?
I think it was
as-
just in this book, to be fair. Like, I think it's
Yes.
or one of our earlier episodes,
It's in
but they
chapter
definitely
5.
See, I
said
thought
it,
it was
yeah.
like not a place, but like a kingdom of people that decided. I guess that is kind of what the fates are, isn't it? Like, I almost took it as like the veil, but not the veil of the decision making of what should and shouldn't be. Kind of. I don't
If
know.
anyone has ever read Percy Jackson, there's 3 fates in there, and that's what I'm picturing, and it's hilarious if you've read it.
Oh,
I'll
interesting.
just leave it there.
Interesting.
Do you guys have anything else before I go into chapter's end?
Nope.
Oh, so I just had a quick little theory before chapter's end. My thought
All right.
process here was, oh my God, maybe Tawny is the person, because they say someone from Atlantia, and then I'm like, it's stupid Gianna or whatever the heck her name is,
Oh.
and I got depressed. And then chapter's end.
Yep. So chapter ends with Lynn coming in saying someone has arrived from Atlantia looking to speak with Poppy. He doesn't know their names and doesn't recognize them. I'm like, okay, and you're just letting them in?
Literally.
All right. Cool, you're a great guard. So they go to the doors to see who it is, and Poppy recognizes Gianna right away.
Gianna, that's
The other one is wearing a cloak, lowers it, and it's Tawny. Dun, dun,
I was literally like, oh, I hope it's Tawny. And then it was Gianna, and I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, oh, yay. It is. It is.
It was a
Well,
roller
whole
coaster.
I
Oh.
have a bad feeling with Gianna and being with Tawny. Like, I just don't. I have a bad feeling there. I'm happy to see Tawny. Bad feeling that, like, she seems to be buddy-buddy with Gianna. I don't like it. No, thank you.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well, chapter 19, Tawny has entered the chat, and I am literally in tears, you guys. I'm so happy this has happened. And so Poppy is internally monologuing on Tawny, and she says Tawny is standing there saying how she's upright and talking, and she runs over to her, and Kieran tries to stop her but fails. She says Kieran is fast, but I was faster. Like, it's surprisingly fast. And now she runs to Tawny before anyone can stop her, and then she's like embracing Tawny, and the Wolven are all right up against her, like rubbing along her legs, and they're all very sus at this point, which I believe they should be.
You should be.
And Poppy is confused as to why everyone is sus and trying to stop her. And I'm like, Poppy, what the heck are you talking about? Why are you so confused?
Did we not just forget that person that killed all the Draken?
Yes, literally. So I'm thinking like, okay, so she says that she feels weariness on the Wolven. She didn't understand why. And she was like, why is Kieran trying to stop me? Why is this confusing? I'm thinking they don't know Tawny. Of course, they're going to be questioning a person from Solis who the Ascended could have, lied to, brainwashed, just like they did to your future king that you thought would never go on the other side, but now is on the other side. So literally, trust is questionable until proven otherwise. And she's like,
Mhm.
why are they doing this to someone they don't know? I'm like, come on, Poppy. Y'all smarter than that.
She is.
So when she is hugging Tawny, she notices that she's lost a lot of weight,
Mm.
that her skin is cold, and her eyes are, quote, paler than a revenant's. And thought,
I
what the
wondered if
fuck
she's
is
a
going on?
new form of a Rev.
That's kind of
Like a new form.
well, I go into a crazy theory here that I think is wrong. But at first I put Katie, I think we're going to get confirmation here that Tawny is a revenant because they're talking about her
Yep,
cold
so did I.
skin, and you're going to be right. But then she can still feel from Tawny, right? Or no, she can't, because I put here that she could. I said she can
Yeah, she
still feel from
can't.
Tawny.
She tries to feel Tawny's emotion and can't. She asks her about it, and Tawny says she doesn't know why.
And then
And then she says, "Well, I do, but none of it matters right now." And I'm like, "The fuck does that mean?"
Yes, it does matter.
absolutely
Yeah.
freaking matters.
And then she's like, "There's something I need to tell you in private about Victor. I saw him." I'm like, "What?"
It's like,
the
what?
fuck? So
What
I
is going
also
on?
felt like at first that it was weird that Tawny was so in the know. Like they're talking and Poppy's like, oh my God, Tawny, your eyes. And Tawny's like, your eyes, Poppy. It's the, and Poppy goes, it is the, and then Tawny finishes her sentence, the primal essence. And she's like, how do you know that? And it's like, it's just weird. Like she's talking as if, because as far as we're concerned, Tawny is so not in the know. Like she knew nothing
Right.
about nothing, and now she's
Right.
saying primal
And
essence.
she's been unconscious for how long?
Yes, and yes. So she talks about primal essence, but then when she answers other questions, she's like, "Oh, I don't know," and I'm like, I'm so worried that Tawny is lying about some things. Like she was also like, "Oh, my hair has changed. I don't know why any of this is happening," and I'm just thinking like, "Fuck." Maybe she's a revenant and she understands what happens when someone turns into a revenant, but because the Shadow Stone didn't kill her, like I'm almost wondering if the Isbeth, her intent was, because she said Tawny was a gift to her, so maybe she was trying to kill Tawny with the Shadow Stone, gave her as a gift, and wanted Poppy to basically like watch another someone close
That's
to her
what
die.
I thought too.
But then Poppy tried to use her magic to save her, and maybe that kind of worked and turned her into something else altogether. Was kind of one of my theories here. I just really don't want Tawny to be bad.
I don't think she is. At first, I was thinking maybe she is. I don't think she is now.
After the whole like Victor conversation, I agree with you. Unless there's some crazy ass theory that we think that the Blood Queen made all of this up and told her to say this, but it seems way far fetched.
Nah. She says certain things that
she wouldn't have. Yeah.
So Kieran and Gianna follow the two of them into the room, and Kieran asks Tawny how she woke up. Is it something that Ilawana did? Because Ilawana was kind of like standing by her bedside. Tawny responds with, she doesn't know, but she does think that she was not supposed to wake up. I think it, and then I think I might be going back to my is the consort taking over her body theory, which again, I don't think is the case now, but
say that again though.
Remember, like, it was a few episodes ago, I'm like, maybe the consort's, like, possessing her and trying to take over her body.
Yes, I do remember you saying that.
I was like, well, maybe I'm right. And I'm like, now I'm like, no. But in this moment, I wondered if maybe I was.
So as soon as she said, like, I need to talk to you about Victor, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, my God. I went, oh, fuck yeah, I'm so excited about this. I wonder, and I went crazy theory all of a sudden. I'm like, I wonder if Victor is Tawny's father and there's some sort of god. And I'm like, I can't even speculate right now because they're explaining how her eyes are different and this and that. And I'm like, you guys, I'm so excited and I don't know what to think. And then, don't they say something about Victor's eyes? Because I have another note here.
I did in the last episode. They're winter blue.
You thought him about being a wolven?
Yep.
I don't know if my
note
that I'm going to say here is going to be after a note that you have, but it's my theory. Oh, no, I guess it's not because we learned that Victor's a Victor. So I put, holy fuck, Katie, Victor was not a revenant. Sorry, was a revenant, not a wolven. We were thinking he was a wolven because of his blue eyes, but he was in fact a revenant. I'm talking as if this is truth, which it isn't. So when he was killed, he wasn't actually killed, but he had to be killed, aka pretend to be dead for Poppy's sake, because if he came back, then he would have ruined the secret of everything that she wasn't ready to learn yet. And obviously he's protecting him from something. He's a revenant. And that's how certain I was in my
I love it.
theory that isn't true. Anyway,
I did not. Go ahead.
You didn't go there, Kristen? You didn't go there?
No. When we get to like the end of like her dad, I want to just take you guys through my notes.
Yay.
Oh,
okay.
Fun. Okay.
They're short and
That's
sweet.
okay. Exciting.
So Tawny said she felt like she was dying until she saw Victor, and she said it was either something he did or the fates did that saved her. Poppy says, you never used to believe in those, and she says, well, I do now. Poppy asks how she saw Victor, and Tawny said she saw him in a dream that wasn't a dream. She saw a silvery light and thought that she was entering the veil until she saw Victor. Kieran asks how she knew it wasn't just a dream, and Tawny said because he said that Poppy was a god, and Tawny had known that because she was told by Isbeth. And I'm thinking in my head, that's not really confirmation that it wasn't a dream,
because
though.
if you knew she was
If
a
you already
god,
knew the
your
information.
brain could tell you that she was a god. Like,
yeah.
okay.
So Kieran asks, well, what were the plans that Isbeth had? Like, if he's telling you everything, and Tawny says she doesn't know much, only that Isbeth thought that Poppy would help her rebuild the realms. And Tawny said that Victor told her things that she couldn't have known otherwise about how a god named Ios had stopped Poppy from walking off a cliff in the Skotos Mountains. And he said that it wasn't just Nyktos that gave the approval of the marriage. It was both Nyktos and the consort. He also told her that Cass was captured and that Poppy was going to go back to Carcedonia to save him. So it's like she's saying all of these factual things that Poppy's like, oh shit, like this is real.
Yeah.
So Poppy asks if he was a spirit, and she said no, he was a victor. And I'm like, oh, what?
Isn't it funny
Yeah.
that he is what his name is? I was kind of like,
Yes.
really?
There's one
I
vowel
know.
different.
I know. Which is described as someone who is born with a goal given to them by the fates to protect someone who was born to bring apart some great change. She got the impression that not all victors were aware of their duty, but ended up protecting the person anyways because the fates bring them together. Once they die, their souls return to Mount Lotho, where the fates reside. They wait there to be reborn. And then I put, oh my god, Tawny is Victor reborn! And then, again, nope. Nope.
So you said that Ios saved her. We thought that was the consort. I thought we got like
We thought it was, but she says here Ios.
But there was no
Yes.
confirmation.
We went back and
earlier?
forth.
Because I thought that they
No, I
had
think-
said I thought he said when they were sleeping and how they were dreaming of her, he said just like the consort saved you in her sleep. I thought that was confirmed.
I don't remember. I know we went back and forth
I'm
because we
gonna have
thought
to
it was
look it up.
Ios because they were on Ios's
Because I
mountain.
thought we assumed that, and I thought we got confirmation it was the consort. And we're like, oh, I'm gonna check into it while you're
Okay.
reading.
So Tawny said that victors don't remember their past lives when they are reborn. Victor said that some are just predestined to find out their duties, like Leopold. He sought out Coralina before Poppy was even born. And then I put, what the heck? Does that mean her dad was a victor too? Is that why Poppy is feeling this tugging sensation in her mind? Because she keeps saying, like, every time this word is said, she's getting like this, like, I should know what this means. I should know what this means. Like, it's this familiar
What do you
tugging.
mean her dad? You mean Ian's dad?
Because, yes,
her
her
like the
father that
father
raised
raised
her.
her.
Oh, got you. I was assuming you meant like blood father. So yeah, but
No,
Tawny is
no.
confirming here that he was like Leopold
Ye-
was.
I'm assuming so. That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
She said some are predestined to find out their duties, like Leopold. He sought out Coralina before Poppy was even born.
Yeah.
So I was like, what?
That gives the dream a whole new meaning too, like on how he was
Yep.
literally there just to protect her.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it's kind of sad that her memory of that dream is mostly of her mother and not of her
I know.
father, considering like he was arguably duty bound to protect her.
Yep.
So
Yep.
my notes first. So I start out like when we find out that Tawny saw Victor. Victor? What's going on? Holy shit, he knew! The crying emojis. Her dad was one too?
Did any of you think for a moment Victor was still alive when she's like, I saw Victor, and you were like, yes,
I
he's
thought
alive
a little
still.
bit. I was like,
Me
oh,
too.
maybe.
I thought
And then I
so.
got, this is insane and things I never caught.
Yep.
And then I move on.
What's your next note here? I want to make sure I don't jump past.
I just have some little things before we get into the prophecy. Is that where you're heading, the prophecy?
So no, it's okay. So one thing I wasn't totally understanding is that a victor is a victor, which is kind of funny. Why was he so disapproving of Castile then? Like, I would like to assume he would have known who Castile was, but then also maybe victors aren't all knowing. Like, they're just meant to protect. So maybe he didn't know that,
Yes.
because Cass's intentions initially weren't good. So like maybe they just don't know the whole truth necessarily. And maybe because he's
Yeah.
dead, he does now. Like maybe he's like
Right.
still
now
like
he
from the
understands.
veil trying to
Yeah,
protect
because they say once they
Poppy.
go back to the Mount Lotho or whatever
That's
it is,
where they're-
they get all their memories back. So he's probably like, oh, yes, Cass is okay. But like in the moment,
it all
it's like,
together.
I need to protect Poppy. And I don't think this person is going to align with my cause.
And it's kind of
Mhm.
interesting that he is able to protect her still from there. Like
know.
somehow reaching Tawny, like that's very, very interesting. And I hope we learn how that happened, not just it being like, oh, this happened and weird. Like I hope we learn more of that.
Mhm.
But
No.
yeah, that's what I have before the prophecy.
So Tawny said that victors cannot reveal their reasons for protecting those that they do, which is why that he never told Poppy, because Poppy's like, well, why wouldn't he have told me that?
Yes.
And then Victor told Poppy to say that, yes, he was proud of her. And I went, ah, my heart. Because remember, she was
How
having
many
like this thing, like,
times
I wonder if
she's-
he'll be
yeah.
proud of me, of like my
Yeah.
choices I'm making.
Yes.
And I'm like, ah.
Yes.
So then Victor told Tawny about the prophecy that Penelope spoke about. And then I said, did we know that Poppy's namesake god was the one that made the prophecy?
I said the
'Cause-
same note. Did we know the prophecy was spoken first by the god Penelope? I feel
Yeah.
like that's the first time we're
No.
hearing this, or I just
Same.
didn't hold
and
on
they
to
said
this.
it so nonchalantly, like I'm supposed to know
Yes.
this. And I'm like,
And that's who she's named after, and she's the one that
Yeah.
spoke the prophecy. Like,
yeah.
that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we get into the prophecy. I have color-coded theories to this prophecy.
Wow.
I had to go back so many times and re-listen, and I'm like, pause,
Oh, I
Put
pulled
my
out my
thoughts,
Kindle for
read
this.
back, pause. So very interested to seeing your.
So I have separated it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different areas.
Okay.
And I have notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
My notes only come into when they're specific about the first and second daughter. So let's go through
Okay.
your.
Okay, so the first section says, from the desperation of golden crowns and born of mortal flesh, a great primal power rises as the heir to the lands and the seas, to the skies and all of the realms, a shadow in the ember, a light in the flame, to become the fire of the flesh. And I put, this sounds like Poppy to me,
Yes.
which is
Mhm.
later fully cemented because I went back to book 2 or 3, and I'll get to it when we get to it. But
Ooh.
there's a point where her dad is talking to her, and like her father that raised her,
Okay.
and says, what a pretty Poppy. And he says, I love you more than all of the stars in the sky. And she says, I love you more than all of the fish in the sea. And this literally says, heir to the lands of the sea, to the skies, and all of the realms. Seas and skies. I'm like, it's not a
Ooh.
coincidence.
How
Not a
the
coincidence.
heck did you go, I need to go back to this book. This sounds familiar. Like that.
So it
Well, I
wasn't
guess-
about this note. I
Ah.
came back and added that note after because I was trying to find something. I forget what it is. It's in here.
And
I
then you
think it
came
was
across
about
that?
Victor. Yes, because I was trying
Wow.
to search for that specific part,
Yes.
and it was on the same page as this quote, and I'm like,
Got
holy
you.
effing shit, this is better than what I was looking for. So, added it to my notes.
Man.
Yeah, I'm like, that's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence.
No.
So the second part says, when the stars fall from the night and the great mountains crumble into the seas. And I said, this sounds exactly like Reaver said about what would happen if the consort's name was spoken. Because he says all of the stars will fall from the sky and the great mountains will tumble into
Okay,
the seas.
read that prophecy sentence over.
So it says, like backing up, because I have it cut up into chunks, right?
Yep.
So it says, from the seas to the skies and all of the realms, a shadow in the ember, a light in the flame, to become a fire in the flesh.
Poppy.
When the
Okay.
stars from the night, when the stars fall from the night and the great mountains crumble into the seas.
Did something
that is-
happen after that? Or that's just
Yes.
the end of a
So-
sentence?
No, it goes into something else, but that's broken up into someone else in my theory. The rest of the sentences, and old bones raise their swords to beside the gods. The false one will be stripped from glory. That's the full sentence. So when the stars fall from the night and the great mountains crumble into the seas, old bones will raise their swords beside the gods. The false one will be stripped from glory. And I'm like, the false one
Ooh.
is very obviously Isbeth because
Yeah.
she's a demis or whatever the
Yes.
hell.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, so when the consort wakes up, it's going to bring about the end of Isbeth, is how I read that. That's
and
how I
what's
color coding.
interesting is, read the bones part again.
And old bones will raise their swords beside the gods. The false one will be stripped from glory.
Beside the gods. Do you read this? Okay.
Like
this-
fighting
I'm
for the
getting
gods. That's how I read it.
Goosebumps on this, and this could be me. Believe me, there's no justification to what has happened to anybody that's been killed. But it says the old bones will rise up and fight with the gods. Is there
Yep.
some freaking possibility that those that have been killed will rise up and fight
I would
with
love
the
that.
gods against the blood crown? Because it
love
doesn't
that.
say the old bones are the
Yeah.
gods. Because at first I'm like, oh,
Right.
maybe they're talking about the
No.
primals. Maybe they're like, they will
No.
fight with And maybe
will raise their
Poppy
swords
is going to
beside the
have
gods.
the power as a primal of life to bring back all that they have fallen and
Yep.
fight back against them. Woo! Okay.
I
Holy
read
cow.
it as like the Grims or whatever, the germs.
Ooh.
Because don't those things protect in the consort? Like when they first go into
Elysium.
Elysium, they have those
Yes,
skeletons.
Yes,
That's how I read it.
Oh, okay. That's a good call because those are old bones.
Yep.
Good call. Okay.
Okay, so the next line, until two born of the same misdeeds, born from the same great primal power in the mortal realm. My thoughts on this one is this sounds exactly like the consort and Poppy, because the consort and Poppy are both gods that were born
Of the mortal
in
realm.
the mortal realm.
Mhm.
So that's where I thought that was going. The next chunk says a first daughter with the blood full of fire fated for the once promised king, and the second daughter with the blood full of ash and ice, the other half of the future king. Together they will remake the realms and usher in the end. So this is very clearly to me, the consort is the first daughter. She's born full with blood full of fire, because that is exactly how her power is described, that her and Nyktos are like the fire of the gods or whatever. And the once promised king, like, I'm assuming is Nyktos. I think because they've already made mention that Poppy is going to be more powerful than her father. So once promised king because he was the almighty powerful, but now it's going to be Poppy because she's going to become more powerful when she finishes her culling. She is the second daughter born with a blood full of ash and ice, which has already been told to her before that she is full of blood, ash, and ice. The other half of the future king, together they will remake the realms. Well, that's exactly what her and Cass are doing. They're trying to remake the realms and get rid of the blood crown. And usher in the end makes it sound like end of the world. I think it's end of the blood crown.
Yes.
I agree.
Yep.
So the only part that I interpreted differently, but now I think I am on the same page as you, when you were just reading it now about the first daughter born, I was thinking consort. But when I was first doing it, I was like, I don't know who this is. Because when they said once promised king, I went to Melek because he was supposed to be the king of Atlantia.
Right.
And now it's
So did you think
Cass.
Isbeth?
I don't
that
know
was my
who
first
I thought. I wasn't sure because she's not the first daughter. That's why I struggled with. I couldn't figure out who. And like we've had speculation, I think, on if the consort was the first maiden.
Yes, we have.
And
yep.
I think it fits the bill at this point.
I think so too.
Like,
I think this really spells it out.
because they're
Because
worried.
that's how the fire is exactly how they explain or how they describe their power, and like it fits like the once promised king. Like Nyktos is supposed to be like the king of gods.
But it's
I was gonna say, didn't you say king before with Malik, and that doesn't make the consort right? But never mind. I didn't know who the first daughter was. I didn't figure that
I
one out.
didn't either. But the only thing that doesn't make sense to me still is the once promised king, because Nyktos is the king right now. It's saying the once promised, as if he was promised it but never got it. So like a part of me is like, oh, I don't know about that part of it for sure. That's where And
then, so the last part of this prophecy is, and so will begin with the last chosen blood spilled. The great conspirator birthed from flesh and fire. The primals will awaken as the harbinger and the bringer of death and destruction to the lands, gifted by the gods. Beware, for the end will come from the west to destroy the east and lay waste to all that lies between. And I said, this is the part that we've heard before. I think it's talking about Isbeth being the harbinger, and that the battle will begin with Poppy spilling her blood, which she has already done when she was speared and almost died before Cass ascended her. The gods were active that night with storms and lightning. I think this is what started the prophecy in motion.
I thought the same thing when she was ascended.
Also, so you're saying Isbeth is the harbinger of death and destruction, right?
I don't think that.
I just got out my handy dandy map, and it says she starts in the west and goes to the east.
Yep.
Do you know where Carsidonia is, where her thing is? In the west. She is on the west side.
Isbeth is on the west?
Yep. Carsidonia is on the west.
Technically so is Poppy was also born there though, right?
But if to go to the east would be Atlantia. But yeah.
Because I think that Poppy is the harbinger of death and destruction, but I read that as the bringer of death and destruction to the blood crown. That's how I interpret that part. I think that that's still Poppy bringing an
I just
end
don't like where it says
to-
lies waste to all that lies in between. Like, that doesn't seem like
Yeah.
Poppy to me.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good
And it
call.
says the
and that
bringer
kind of
of
has
death.
happened. The Cravens are in between
Yes.
them.
Yeah. The death and destruction to the lands gifted by the gods. Beware, for the end will come from the west, destroy the east, and lay waste to all that lies between.
What was right before that? Because it made me think of something
The
about...
great conspirator, birthed from flesh and fire of the primals, will awaken as the harbinger of death and destruction to the lands gifted by the gods. Blah, 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 blah.
And
blah.
when it says the blood of the whatever, so you thinking that was her ascension, right? Like when Poppy got...
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Yes.
thing about
Because it
that.
says like the blood from the last chosen blood
Yeah.
spilled, and she is the last chosen one because she's the
Yes.
second daughter, and
Oh, man.
like didn't like that's when the first like blood tree sprouted from the earth when she
Mhm.
that night right where she was speared.
Yep.
Like I
Mhm.
feel like too
Mhm.
much of it fits.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Yep.
God, I don't know so much more about the consort, because if she's the first daughter, she would have had to have been, if she was similar to Strength and Poppy, which it sounds like she is, to the point that she will be out of
Mhm.
control. That means she has to be God bloodline, similar to
Mhm.
how Poppy is. So like that's interesting, as to like maybe it's that Scion guy or Solis or whoever, because he's equal to Nyctos technically, just on the other side of things.
Colas is
Colas.
Nyctos' dad, though, I thought, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. So that wouldn't help us out any.
But there were other primals that we didn't
Right?
know.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right? So
So
it could be any of those that are dead now or gone.
Because
Whatever.
do we think
Dead.
she was the first maiden, or do you think that was kind of made up, but she's still the first daughter? Because
Well, I think first daughter and the first maiden kind of go hand in hand, and maybe it's
like,
just
do you
the way
think
the
that the
story has
Ascended
changed.
had her? Like the Ascended talk about how they had a first maiden and that she got herself killed or whatever. But do you think that they had a first maiden? She got so strong and she went against them, turned into the consort, and now when Poppy was being raised, they were trying to like not have something like that happen? Or do you think the part of the Ascended having the consort as the first maiden was a lie to scare Poppy when they knew the truth?
I don't know, but I
Do you know?
just thought of something that kind of further cements it, because
Ooh.
nobody knows the first maiden's name. They don't speak her name.
And they don't know the consort's name.
Yep. It's
Although
got to
apparently
be.
Poppy does.
It's got to be. Oh, I have theories about
Oh
that
my
too.
God,
Don't you
I'm
worry.
getting so many goosebumps right now.
Don't you worry. I have theories about it. I'll get to it. Don't you worry.
Okay, so I just had talking about the prophecy again. I just bring up Willa Collins. I always have thoughts about her because the second she saw Poppy in the Red Pearl at the beginning of the freaking series, she saw her and said, "You are the second daughter." And I
Mhm.
just feel like there's some sort of relevance to Willa Collins and all of this that we're gonna learn. I just need to put that out in the universe.
Yep. Okay, so then Poppy, after hearing all of this, starts to spiral, wondering if she's going to become bad and if it's destined to be so. So therefore asking Kieran to stop her is not going to be enough. Kieran says she's not destined to destroy anything, and that's when Tawny says, he's right. I didn't get the impression from Victor that you were destined to do anything evil. And I'm like, even more proof that she's not the harbinger,
Right,
because
yes.
Yeah.
like that just sounds so evil.
One thing I don't like about the prophecy, though, is it seemed to put a lot of emphasis on king and not queen. Like, it made it seem like the promised king was the first daughter, and then the second daughter was with, like, the true king. And it's like,
the other half of the true king is how it was worded.
Yeah.
And Poppy and Cass are always saying they're equal halves.
Yep. Yep.
that's true.
Yep.
I just don't like how it says. It makes it seem like the king is, I don't know. It's fine. I'm over it. Okay.
Not
over
really,
it.
but whatever.
No, not really. Like, it just seems a bit more importance on the king there, the true
But they
king.
start off with it starts with the first daughter, so they mention her first,
Yeah.
to the once promised king, and then the second daughter to
Mhm.
the
It's just like the
Other
word
half
daughter
of
is
the
less of a title than
true
king.
king.
But I think it's supposed to be that way to keep us not
throw you off.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So Tawny then says that there's something else she needs to tell Poppy, but only Poppy can hear it and no one else. She looks at the Wolven and says, sorry. They don't
Get
like
outta
it,
here.
but they do agree to leave.
I don't totally understand. Is it just because Victor says only Poppy can hear this prophecy?
I think so.
Because, like,
yeah.
could
I
she
think
just be
so.
like, just so you know, this is the prophecy? Like, obviously she's going to tell them, right?
No, the prophecy was said in front of all of them.
Yeah.
It's the part that comes after that she just
Yeah.
tells. Poppy.
Oh, the Victor part? What part? I don't even know what the heck was said in secret right now. Continue reading.
We'll get there. Don't you worry.
Like, I forget what comes next.
I just have something to put in first.
Yes,
As soon as they
do it.
leave, Tawny says, "Why does he behave that way? That's how I would expect your husband to behave." And I said, "We wonder this too, Tawny."
Right?
Even Poppy herself, my next note is, honestly, I don't know what it's like. It's complicated. I was like, excuse me, Poppy, he's your friend.
What do you mean it's complicated?
Mm.
It's
Oh, thank
it's
you.
black and white, man. He's my friend.
He is your
Yep.
friend.
And my husband is elsewhere, and we're going to save him. And that's all there is to it.
Yep.
Oh.
So Tawny confirms that what we were all hoping, Ian really was a good guy, because she says that Ian told her the truth about what happens during the Ascension, and highly insinuated that they had been working together, which I really liked.
Yes,
That.
same.
And Tawny says that the reason why Poppy can't sense anything from her is because she was dying. She was supposed to have died. Whatever Victor or the Fates did had slowed that process, but did not fix it. She thinks she's already dead, but not. And I'm like,
So
I
does
don't
that
think she's
mean
going to be
she's
long for this
gonna die
world.
then? Like
No.
she's.
I think so. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Like I'm basically
Yeah.
long enough to get this message to you. That is so
Yeah.
sad, you guys. Did
know.
not catch that.
Yeah. Very sad.
Okay.
So Victor told her,
So I got
those
to
who
mourn
know
this
the
right now.
consort's name cannot repeat it
Oh
in the
yes,
mortal
this
realm.
is what it was. Damn it.
Because her name is power, and to speak it will bring stars from the sky and mountains from the sea. And I put, just like the prophecy,
So
as I said.
It is literally like Poppy needs to learn the name and just say it. Like it's like that is
Yep.
going to be a part of the prophecy.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Do you think we've heard
Yep.
the name? Like when like Poppy knows it, we must know it. Because it will be
No.
really weird
I have
for
theories.
Yeah, I wondered if we knew it.
just to me, if it's like, oh, I remember the name and it's this part of my dream and blah. Like, I don't know. I feel like it would be way more mind blowing if it's a name we've all known this whole time as well. Like I will
Yeah.
be so shook if I know. Continue. Sorry.
So this is when Victor says that Poppy already knows the consort's name. And I put, what the fuck? So this was my whole journey. This is how I found the quote about the Poppy and the sea and the stars. I'm just going to read you my notes. So the quote I was looking for initially was, a woman was there, her hair long, floating around her. The color so pale it was like spun moonlight. Her features were familiar. I'd seen her before in my mind while in the temple, but now I thought she looked a bit like me. There were freckles across the bridge of her nose and on her cheeks. Her eyes were the color of dew-kissed grass, but behind the pupils was a light silvery glow that seeped out, fracturing the vibrant green. Her lips moved as she spoke. Her lashes swept down as a tear fell from the corner of one eye, a blood-red tear. Her words sent a jolt of icy shock through me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then
and we
she
didn't
was gone.
hear it, but she heard it and forgot it, I'm pretty
Yep.
sure.
Yup. And I'm like, I need to find this
forgot
quote.
about that because she says,
Yep.
like, I heard what she said, but I immediately forgot
Yep.
what she said.
Yup.
Yes.
Yup. Yup.
Oh.
And
I
on
have-
that same page, that's when I found the seas and the fish in the sea. And then, okay, let me read you the whole thing because I wrote it here. So he says, what a pretty little flower, what a pretty poppy. Papa leaned in, kissing the crown of my head. I love you more than all of the stars in the sky. And she responds, I love you more than all the fish in the sea. And he says, that's my girl. Papa's hand trembled on my cheek. And I put, what the heck? Stars in the sea, that is not a coincidence.
Okay.
And I found those both on the same page.
So
I was very excited
I
about
have
it.
another crazy theory. It's not really crazy theory. It's my reincarnation theory again. I think Poppy is the consort. It's kind of silly to think she could be the first daughter and the second daughter, but not in the sense if she had a destiny and her destiny was to go this way. But maybe her true name is the consort. And when she realizes who she is, she says her name.
Whoa! I just got goosebumps.
Me freaking too. It's her own name. It's why she doesn't know her own birthday. All of that. Her name is the consort's name, and it's her awakening to all of this. Oh, I wrote down Poppy is the consort on this thing. That's her name as you were writing, because I'm like, I cannot forget this. That's what I think. I think it is reincarnation, and that's why she keeps saying it sounded
You have
like
been
me.
calling that from day one.
You have been.
I will be
Because
so
literally
happy.
her description is Poppy. We didn't know
Yes.
it when we were reading that book
Yes.
because she didn't have all those like the eyes glowing and stuff. But now we do.
And
That's literally her.
She always says like it was my she said it and I said it. Like it was my voice. And
Yeah.
that one that you're explaining.
Holy F, man, I think you're right.
Oh, I hope I'm right. Because from that memory, I'm pretty sure she says she looks like me, right? Like in that
Yes, she did.
scenario. And then
I
also,
thought how she looked a little bit like me.
is that the same memory of when she says it wasn't supposed to happen this way? Or no? Is that a different one? Because I think something
That's a different one, but that
think
is also the
something
same.
important is said in that too now, and I'm going to try to look it up as we continue. Oh my god, I'm so mother effing excited about this. Anywho.
Oh my god, if you're right, you called that like so early. And then Poppy's telling Tawny how much she loves her because they're about to leave the next day, and I was just like, oh, kid.
I threw in a fun fact here because they're gonna go to Three Rivers, and I'm like, fun fact, that's where Wheel of Time starts.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
funny.
That's so
That's
cool.
funny. That's all I have before chapter ends, though.
Okay, hold on. I have a bunch of notes here.
Yeah.
but we might
Oh
have
no, they
talked
start in
about it.
Two Rivers. Sorry, not three.
Yeah,
Close
well, you're wrong.
enough.
There's
Enough.
something Rivers.
Close enough. Why is he acting like your husband? We talked about that. Poppy could say the primal's name, and she already knows her name. This is my old shit because I got a new theory now. I feel like somehow it's my I still feel that this reincarnation thing is that she is the consort, and that's why she doesn't know her birthday. Oh, I was already onto this earlier.
You were already on it.
And that's why I don't know. That's why I don't know how else would she know the consort's name. I feel like she is her somehow. That Victor was born to protect the consort. Do you think that Reaver and them even would know this? I said I don't fucking know. Maybe.
The only thing I struggle with.
What, Katie?
Go ahead, Katie.
Is that just Reaver's children or something?
Yes. So remember when she's like, "Well, what's her name?" Like the consort. Remember Reaver like kind of chuckled, and I was like,
Yeah.
"That's really weird that he's laughing at this."
Because it's
that
your
would make
name,
sense 'cause she's
dum-dum.
like, it's you, dum dum. Like
You are the and why else would she have control over these Draken? Because she is her.
oh my god, I think you're
The
right.
only thing I'm struggling with the reincarnation is if she's Nyktos' consort and she's mated to Cass. Like,
I know. I kind
how
of
can she be
to
Nyktos' person and Cass's person? That's the only
Right.
thing I'm struggling with.
But maybe
Right.
consort means something more than we understand that it means. Like maybe it's not a mated thing.
But it says that they made their
But
babies
she's
the old-fashioned
still-
way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really think there's something to do with this reincarnation, but
I
I
think
don't
there's
know how to
something
make
there,
it
or maybe
make
it's like a
sense.
version of like a part of the consort's soul is in Poppy, like something similar to reincarnation, but not complete reincarnation. If that makes
Because
any
in
sense.
our theory, not even our theory, what we've been told as facts is that the consort's like her great great grandmother.
Yeah.
No, her consort is her grandma. Because
Yes.
it's Iris's mom. And Iris is her dad.
God,
So I think
I see.
Like,
I know you're right.
I
It's
feel
like,
like
how
I'm
do
right.
we make this
I'm
make
right
sense?
there.
On like how
But like,
can this?
I think it's like something like reincarnation, but not reincarnation.
Like maybe the consort has such an ability that she could rebirth herself in a way. Like she went to sleep to be reborn. I don't know.
There's some like
I don't know.
it's like tip of the tongue, and I can't.
Like she was so desperate to go save her children that she couldn't do it herself because she would destroy everything. That she was. I don't know.
There's something. Yeah.
Wild.
So I also had a theory that I don't think I believe, but I said crazy theory about Tawny. Could she also be a victor? She wouldn't be allowed to tell Poppy that she's a victor, but she's always been there by her side. She even specifically said in this conversation that she was the reason she went to the Red Pearl that night. That seems like she was leading Poppy on the right path. I don't know if I believe that though.
It very well could be, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And am I suddenly it autocorrected Tawny to Tommy, so I'm just trying to digest this. Also, when Poppy's like, I hope you know I love you, and Tawny says, I've always known. again, a comment like that makes me think that she could be a victor. Okay, that's where I'm going on this. They're saying their final goodbyes as Poppy and Kieran leave to go find Cass, and another gross moment. It was just as she was saying goodbye to Vanetta. I want to hug. Oh no, growth moment. So she wanted to hug Vanetta. She's like, I want to hug Vanetta, so I hugged Vanetta. Like there was no more of this. Like, are we friends?
I wish
Is
I
this
would
good
have.
enough? Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm just gonna chapter close because I have a mumbo jumbo here that I can't understand. Chapter ends with Poppy and Kieran leaving Oak Ambler. They have said their goodbyes to everyone that's behind, and they've all said, see you in 3 weeks. And Emil, I believe, says to go get our king back, and they ride away. She does not ride on Seti because she feels that it was not safe to bring him, and they are officially on their way to save Castile. Woo!
And I put that she says she hopes to never come back to the city, but a part of her will always remain with the charred remains of the temple.
Yeah.
I thought that was powerful.
Yep.
Okay, so chapter 20. So we're in Cass's POV. He's waking up to fizzing water and the scent of lilacs. He's in their caves, but he appears to be alone. So my first thing, I'm like, is he in the dream, like the dream walking dream, or is like Poppy using the spell to try and locate him?
Oh, interesting. That's a
didn't know
good
what.
thought. Huh.
But I think it's
I made
shortly
note.
proven.
Yes. Yeah, because Poppy comes up like 2 seconds later. Hey!
Yeah.
You're like, shit.
I made note here though because he wonders if he's there by himself as punishment for all of the bad that he's done in the world.
And
he's like
crying.
Oh, but then he says Poppy deserves better, someone better than me, and I'm not that person. And I'm like, this better not have anything to fucking do with Kieran.
Oh,
I didn't even think about that.
I will be
was getting angry.
so mad if anything of that happens.
Yep, I was getting angry.
Same.
Anywho,
moving on.
No, thank you.
So Poppy comes up and he says that he has been waiting for her. And he says that he knows that she's a goddess, and he totally says, I told you so.
It was strange to me. She's like, how did you know? I'm like, don't we all know this? But I'm like, I guess he doesn't yet. Like,
he
knows,
yep.
but as far as she's concerned, he doesn't. And
this
I was
is the
surprised.
confirmation that
Yes.
he knows.
Yeah.
Yep.
He knows.
So Poppy's
I
trying to get information from Cass about where he's being held, and he's hesitating on telling her because he doesn't want her anywhere near Cursidonia.
Yeah.
And he says that to her, and she says, don't you start withholding information from me for some chauvinistic show of heroism.
Right.
And Cass says, and here I was thinking it was my love, my need to protect you. I think you want to stab me. She goes, I do, but since you like it, it won't have the desired effect.
And it's just like really amazing. Funny. Yeah. Their like banter is right back where it needs to be.
I love it.
Yeah. I love
but
that.
also it's like if you don't tell her, she's just gonna go searching and be even more danger. Like just tell her where she needs to go so she can get her shit done.
Like you're not stopping her from trying,
Yes,
so you
exactly.
might as well help her.
Yeah. Also,
so Cass tells
annoyed
Poppy,
they did not feed. I was like, feed.
My note. I went on a journey with my notes. They're all in caps. But like, so Cass, they're like starting to wake up, and Cass is like, "Oh, Isbeth is a Demis," and Poppy's like, "Oh, she's harnessing primal energy." And this whole time, I'm like, "Cass, fucking feed!"
Literally. So
and then Cass wakes up and he's like, "Wow, I'm hungry." And I'm like, if only your fucking mate had been there for you to snack on.
It was so frustrating.
Yes.
Like,
God damn it. Then the POV switches to Poppy and she announces Demis to the group and inner monologues about how tired and hungry she is. I'm like, if only a heartmate had been there a minute ago too. And then I put idiots. I was very angry about it.
It is so funny because the second they both wake up, they're like, gee,
I'm
starving.
hungry.
It's like, why do that? Like, if they're not going to feed, then don't talk about it immediately freaking after.
Literally, Kristen's dying.
Look at Katie's turned into the rager.
I'm like, I'm going to be right. I'm going to be right. And then they didn't do it. I'm like, fuck off.
You're like, just give me this one.
Throw me a goddamn bone. This is very bad.
As an offside thing, Katie, when you were on that rant, You gave me such Steve Dangle vibes. Like,
Yelly, screamy girl
Oh, that's hilarious.
was very angry. I'm like,
Rightfully
"Oh."
so, honestly. And then it was said that apparently, like, he looked well and that he could choose what he looks like to her in his
Yeah.
dream world. And I'm
Yes.
like, oh, how convenient. Like, so she wouldn't have been like, hey, feed, right? Like, you look just great.
Yeah.
But then she's like, but obviously he's
Yeah.
not great. It's like, well, obviously you didn't consider if he needed to feed because you know that's why he went crazy the last time.
Honestly,
Should have been the first thing
I'm
she
like,
said to him.
if you guys have confirmed that you can get down and dirty together and feel it afterwards, like, how have you not made that connection?
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, I was so
I'll
annoyed.
be very
So
disappointed if
annoyed.
they find each other and don't feed during the dream. Like, I
Same.
thought that was the whole point of the dreamscape when we first
Same.
learned about it. I was like,
and that's
oh,
how he was gonna like overpower
Yes,
Isbeth because he had his
yes.
strength back.
Yes.
Oh, I had this whole thing planned out.
Damn it, Jennifer. I
God
had
damn it, Jennifer!
plans and you ruined them.
Ruined.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
So, anywho, Poppy and Kieran go over to where Reaver is sleeping and ask him about the Demis. And Kieran tells the story about a girl who fell in love with someone who was already mated. She prayed for him, and someone who claimed to be Ios had promised to give her what she wanted if she gave up something in return, the firstborn of the family, her brother. So she killed the brother only to find out that Ios was a Demi, not a real god. So is
Wait.
this supposed to be like a
Ios?
real
Like,
story?
isn't Ios the god that
Yeah.
saves her from falling off the cliff? So
Yes.
that is not a real
Yeah.
god?
No, that
No, they
is a
just
real
claim
god.
to be
But
her.
this Demi was pretending to be
Gotcha. I
Ios
was like,
in
Yes.
the
whoa,
story.
I missed that. Okay. Got you.
But I don't understand. Like, is this a real story or is this supposed to be like a children's tale type deal?
I think it's a children's tale. It may be based in like a little
truth?
bit of truth.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like Kieran's telling this story because he's like, oh, there's fables. And Reaver's like, let's hear it. So then Kieran says that. And I think that
Mhm.
Reaver confirms it without confirming it, basically saying like, yes, that's how demis can work. You could pray to a god, a demi could answer and fool you and
Mhm.
sucks to
Yeah,
suck.
because Reaver says the Demis are real, but they're very rare and so rare that he has never seen one. Poppy
Mhm.
asks what they are, and he says, a god that was made and not born, a mortal ascended by a god that is not third-born and not considered chosen. The few who have existed were considered false gods. Most do not survive the ascension, but those that do, for all intents and purposes, are gods. I assume their weaknesses would be the same as any other gods. Because she was like, well, how do we kill them?
Yeah.
And so it's the same as any other god, which is a shadow stone to the heart, the head, something else I forget.
What I don't love about that is he's like, I assume it's
I
the
know.
same. So it's like that leaves the open to it's
Yep.
not going to be the same because we want it to be.
Yep.
I don't like that.
So Poppy and Kieran head back to go to their tent, and Poppy says that she can take the watch because she's not tired.
I just laughed because as they're like, Poppy's like, I think it's Poppy. They're like, that's all I need to know. And Reaver's just like, thank the gods.
I
His
know.
hands, like,
Yeah, he's like sticks his hand out the tent or whatever, the wagon.
yes.
He's so funny.
And he just shakes them. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Because he
this
just
is
wants to
like
go back to
the-
sleep.
Yeah, this is like the comic relief. I needed this
Yes.
chapter after everything else we
Yes.
read.
Right.
Yes.
So Kieran looks behind and sees mist forming. Craven are coming. Reaver comes out of his wagon and goes, for fuck's sakes, I'll take care of it.
Naked. Naked.
Naked the booty shifts into his draken form and takes them all out in silvery fire.
I just
I just love that.
laughed.
For fuck's sakes, I'll take care of it.
Yes.
I just want to go to sleep already. Like,
Will you guys just shut up so I can sleep?
I feel that. I too like my sleep, Reaver.
Right?
My kid does not like sleep, but
No,
I do.
especially lately. POV switches back to Cass.
This
he is
confused me.
waking up.
twice I thought, I'm like, shit. I'm listening to the next chapter because
Oh, because it
it-
keeps switching.
yes, and it doesn't say chapter,
Yeah.
but it does say their names and just subconsciously,
Yeah.
like I literally stopped both times. I thought that was such a short chapter, and then I was like,
That's
nope,
so funny.
I can. Keep
Well, to be
listening.
fair, most of it is a chapter per POV.
Yes.
So, like, in your
Yes.
defense, like, I can see why you would
I'm
think
like,
that.
what the heck?
So Cass is also waking up from the dreamscape. He's woken by Callum and the Blood Queen. And then I said, why is Cass telling her about the cat? It's going to
Literally.
cause her to move the cat?
Yes.
What is your problem?
I thought the same thing.
I was
First
very
off,
angry about it.
it confirmed to us that the Revenant, because the Revenant knew they saw the cat, and she's like, you weren't supposed to see this, and she didn't tell the Queen. So clearly the Revenant is not on the side of the Queen and the Queen's best
Yep.
interest. So great confirmation there. But what the fuck, Cass? They literally want to go save him, and now that she knows they're gonna hide it away. Like,
Yep. Like, he could have goaded her any other way, because I think that's the whole point. He wanted to just piss her off.
yes.
Like, you could have done that so many other ways.
Idiot.
Yep.
Oh,
Didn't like.
I was
Dislike
also
button.
mad about that.
Yeah.
So Cass says that he is stronger than Isbeth, saying that he is his mother's son after all. And she lunges at him and he pulls out his bone knife and it goes right into her chest. And he says that's for Poppy's brother. She shoves him into the wall and the Queen says that no matter what he thinks, she doesn't want him dead, no matter how good it would make her feel right now. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I don't know about
She
that.
says something about needing Cass alive, and I was like, does she need it for Poppy or like for something? Like, she needs him alive. Is it for Poppy?
I
Or
think
is
it's to
there
get Poppy
something
to go
else?
there. That's what I think.
Well, yeah. Then it goes like, it goes into that later.
Yeah. Yep. Where was I? Oh, Isbeth says that Oak Ambler was taken by Poppy. Cass smiles at that and she says, grin all you want, but do I look bothered? Oak Ambler would always fall. It had to. And I'm like,
Oh, it's like,
I don't
oh
really
no,
like
we're
how
playing
confident
into
you are
her
about
hand.
that.
Exactly, we're playing into her
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So then Isbeth grabs Cass's face and takes a chalice full of blood and pours it into his throat. And she tells him that she never wanted to be a primal. She never wanted that weakness. A god can be killed just like an Atlantian, destroy the heart or the mind. But a primal, you know how to weaken a primal? Love. Love can be weaponized and becoming the blade that ends their existence. If it were not for Malik, I would not have known the truth. That a primal could be born to the mortal realm. When the gods you now know ascended to rule over Elysium and the mortal realm, forcing most of their primals to their glorious eternities, it created a ripple effect that caught the eyes and the ears of the fates. It made sure that a spark was left, a chance for rebirth and great powers, an ember of the primal of life that could only ignite, and I put in bold, the female lineage of the primal of life.
This is where I'm like, fuck,
lineage.
Poppy's a primal, and
Yep.
that's why this bitch needs Cass.
Yep.
Ugh.
This confirmed it for me.
But now we
Yep.
know that Poppy can potentially bring back a Wolven that dies. Because it said only the
True.
primal of life.
But they burned those ones, I think, right? I don't think.
What?
Yeah.
The-
But if something happened to Kieran,
Yes.
like Arden is gone.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
I just mean future
future ones.
future
Reaver.
death of Wolven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I got till chapter is end.
Samesies.
So chapter ends with Cass becoming hungry as he had just enough blood forced into him by Isbitch. We also have it hinted at that Poppy might be the primal of life, and Isbitch is keeping Cass for Poppy's weakness. My only note is fucking Isbitch.
Question
Yep.
here. I interpreted the end of this chapter that Cass also broke and went crazy.
Same.
Yes.
It was like she
Same.
gave
Because
him
the exact thing is, I came apart at the seams, shattering into pieces. I was no longer grounded in any sense of self. Hunger was all that I was. Hunger.
It's like she knew that giving him a taste of it
Mhm.
would
Would make
like,
him go crazy.
Yep.
and then
Yep.
Poppy's gonna see him like that when she gets there.
Yep.
Yep.
The whole time I was thinking, like, whose blood is she giving him? Like,
I wondered if there's something with the blood being poisoned
Same.
too.
Same. I'm like, is this like
Ooh.
magical
Mhm.
blood or toxic blood or
Ooh.
poisoned blood? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
Do
wondered.
we know when Malek? He was the one that came for Cass the first time, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And he,
That's how he got captured.
how did Cass get out? Like, was there anyone else there, or just Malek? Because if
Didn't Shade come with them?
Yeah, I thought that was the whole Shay thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
no, she went. Okay, here's what I don't understand. Then, how did that happen? How did he kill Shay and switch Malek if he was broken and a psychopath? How did that all get? How was he in the right mind to be like, oh my gosh, you just stole my brother away and you just betrayed me? Like, I thought he was, and it took a long time for him
Maybe
to come
that was
back
on
to
a
himself.
rescue mission to
That's
go
what I
get
was thinking. It was like
Malek.
a rescue mission to go get Malek. But I thought that's how Malek got.
I don't remember.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because like I thought Cass was there. Malek and Shay tried to rescue him, and then Shay like somehow said, "Nope, take Malek instead," or something. I don't remember.
Oh, yes, that is what happened.
Yes.
Yes.
But how did Cass leave there then? I thought he was in the state. How did he come back from the state that he was in?
I think I kind of thought he went into that state and came out of it. Like
Like they'd
I don't
feed
know if they put
him
in
and then
that
they'd.
state, and then they give him blood, and he kind of comes out of it. Because then they might want him to know the guilt. Like you know, look how
Look
evil
at all these
you
things you
just were.
did.
Yeah, now you're gonna feel even worse. So I
Hmm.
figured it was kind of like a
Maybe
up
it
and
was.
down.
I don't know why, but I felt like it was like years after he was back before he like was able. But I mean, maybe it wasn't about him being animalistic, and it was just him like being able to cope with everything that had happened. You know?
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh well, here we are, folks, at the
Here we are.
end of our chapter,
End of our
20.
journey.
And yeah, it was a journey and a half. I don't even know if I would call it a good
Yeah.
journey because of everything that
I
happened.
know
Yeah.
that most of
but-
that reading was very heavy.
Yes.
it was
Yes.
Very heavy.
So I'm glad we're on
Yeah.
the other side of that.
Same.
And to
Same.
end things on a lighter note, Kristen is going to introduce us to the bookish breakdown.
All right, welcome to the bookish breakdown segment. I won last week, so
Don't rub it in.
I
La-di-da.
get to host. It's okay, I can't win points.
I know I'm happy about
Yes,
that.
thank God.
Which makes me feel like a
So,
bad person. But
Where are we at right now? Can we get a refresher?
Yes.
Yes.
So Kristen is in the lead with 4 points. And
yeah.
Katie and I are tied 2 points.
That's
so
right.
she
So
is
we can't even tie her tonight.
double. She's double our score.
Ugh.
So no.
So I Jesus. Okay. So I would like you guys to direct your attention to the screen. And
This is fun that it's
For our
screen
audio
sharing.
listeners, she's sharing her screen on her computer so that we can
Yes.
see
Oh,
it.
this is like a fun game. I can already
She
tell.
what, did you make
Ready?
like a presentation here?
I did.
Fancy. Okay, you're gonna have to describe this though for our
So
listeners.
I am. Don't worry, I
Please
am.
go watch this on YouTube though if
You
you're
need
just
to.
Yes.
This
listening.
is already sick.
Go
Yes.
watch it.
So we are going to play word association. Are you ready?
No,
How
but
do
yes.
we play?
Here are your rules.
Oh my goodness. She
I
made up a whole
wait.
slide.
Too much fun.
Oh my gosh.
So, you both get to go at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the first 3 words one at a time. You can guess after the first, but you will be deducted points.
Like if you guess
If
wrong?
you guess too
Okay.
many. Yes.
Okay.
So if you guess correctly after the first 3 words, you get 3 points.
Okay.
If you guess correctly after the 4th word, you get 2 points.
Okay.
And if you guess correctly after the 5th word, you get 1 point. I should just, take a picture of my rules so I remember them.
That's smart.
Listen, I will forget.
I'm gonna
I
forget
have short-term memory loss.
too. Short-term remembering.
So if you guess incorrectly twice, you lose a point.
Okay.
So
And what is it that
Are
we're
we-
guessing?
there's themes, don't worry.
Oh,
Okay.
There's 5 rounds. I believe I did 5 rounds. Are you ready?
oh God, I don't know at all.
so are we
word-
like buzzing in? Like what are we doing?
Yeah, just make a noise.
Okay.
So like
'Cause I
hold on.
can't-
So
So
you're
we have to guess a word?
So, no, the theme, you have to guess. So, for this round, the theme is a book.
Okay.
So, you have to guess the book title.
Oh.
It's
And
something
But you're
you
gonna give
all...
us hints.
every round is
Yes,
different.
I'm going to give you
though.
hints, and every
Got
round is
you.
different.
And we can
Okay.
just
Yes,
yell out
so,
our
like-
answers as we go, but we want to
Yes.
hopefully be right because we lose points. Oh God.
Yes.
And how many
Yes.
incorrect guesses? lose a
Two.
point? Two?
Two. lose a
Two.
point.
Oh
Two.
Lord. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Are
so you're gonna
you
read these out
ready?
loud, right?
Yes.
For our audio listeners.
Ready?
Oh God, I'm scared.
I'm scared too.
Lethal. Fragile.
Fourth wing.
Defiant.
Woo woo.
You're right.
I was right.
Oh, you suck.
Yes. Also,
So the other
that
two
noise
words-
was amazing. That it.
Right?
I didn't hear
Dragons?
a sound.
Woo woo.
I didn't
Did you hear
hear
Amanda?
Is that me saying woo woo?
Yes. Yes.
I was gonna say that sounded like me.
That's Amanda.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So the other two words were dragons and cadet.
Oh.
And your answer? Fourth wing.
Yes. Does the X make
Good
a
job,
fun
Amanda.
noise too?
I guess someone's going to have to make an incorrect
oh, yay,
guess.
I'm so excited. I hope it's funny. Okay. Ooh, yes. All right.
Are you ready for round 2?
Yes. Ooh.
So the theme for round 2 is character.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shadowy.
Zayden Ryerson.
Fisher. Kingfisher. Oh shit. Was she right?
I want to triple. I really should have done this ahead of time, but I have notes on my phone with who they are.
Right? You're like,
So-
shit, that could be both. I'm like, once you guess one, I'm like, that
Yes.
narrows it down. I can guess a different one.
So, Katie, you guessed first
Yep.
with Zayden Ryerson.
Correct.
Now!
Yes. You lose a non-existent point.
Damn it!
Oh,
That was only one guess though. I get wrong for one. I get
Oh, no,
deducted
no.
for one.
You don't. I'm wrong.
Okay,
You get
okay.
incorrect for 2.
Kingfisher.
Okay.
So you don't get. So Amanda is Kingfisher.
Mom! I had 50-50 odds on that one. Come on now.
Yeah, that was shit luck, honestly.
Okay, so your other words were
Damn it.
lethal, predatory, enigmatic.
Ooh. How many points do I
Kingfisher.
have?
You have 6
Yes,
points.
okay. Yes. How many does Katie have? -1? No, just kidding.
None.
Fluff you.
So, the theme of round 3 is magical creature. All right. Winged. Carnivorous.
Oh, it's the Thestwells.
Hippogriff.
Thestwells!
Oh,
I'm right.
yes, you are. Damn it. Oh, good for you. I literally was like, it's going to be hippogriff right away. And after carnivorous, I was like, oh, I could be right. And then invisible, I just yelled hippogriff. Damn it. Good job, Katie.
Yeah!
So your other words were urethral, skeletal,
Ooh,
for thestral.
good job,
Woo!
Katie.
I'm like, what fuck? What do they call it? It's the black wing things in Harry Potter. What the fuck are they?
I don't know if I would have been able to call that off the top of my head.
I
Thestral!
tried to pick one that wasn't not super known.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay. Round 4.
Oh, I'm going to
Setting
be so bad
slash
at this.
Location.
You got to remember the names of places. Shit.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
This is yours, Katie.
Ready?
Yeah.
Cozy. Snow-capped.
Hogsmeade.
Oh. Katie!
Woo!
I was like, I got a 6-point lead here. I'm good.
Woo! Tied it
And
up. Tied it up. Tied it
That
up.
is what I get. Holy
Thank you, Harry
shit.
Potter.
Okay.
Holy shit. That was so
I
good.
can't remember if I said secret before Katie yelled
I don't think
Hogsmeade.
you did. I think it was Cozy and Snowcap,
Well,
and I'm
because-
like Winter Palace and Quicksilver. No, like
As soon as you said setting, I'm like, it's gonna be Hogsmeade. And then you said cozy, I'm like, Fitz. And you said Snowcap, I'm like, Fitz! I'm yelling it.
that's what I did with Hippogriff, and I was wrong.
So your other 2 hints were shops and then honey
Honeydews.
for Hogsmeade.
Oh shit! How many more do we have? This is the last one.
One.
Oh,
This is the
no.
last round. So your theme is who said it. So I'm going to give you words to describe the character that said this quote. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie, I thought this would take longer. You guys are on it. Okay, I'll say it again. for listeners, because people can watch it. Who said it? The quote is, "I would rather die than harm you."
Danatos.
Jesus,
Shit.
Kate, am I right? Yes.
Kate, I know. I'm like, shit, that quote is so familiar. Oh,
Come from behind, baby. Yeah.
everybody loves what do you call that? When you're like behind and come up.
Yes,
What the heck?
come back
Come
to
back.
victory.
That's it.
Ooh.
God damn. So I'm
I'm like,
in last
that's great.
place.
I thought this would be
I
like
knew
a
that
harder
quote.
quote, because I'm like, anyone could say this.
I knew that quote.
I'm
So your
I'm like, do I have
words,
to wait for a quote? I'm like, man, it looks like she knows what it is. I'm like, just let her finish the question. And then you said it, I screamed it.
your words to describe
Oh
Danatos
my
were
gosh.
protective, rule-bound,
okay.
childhood, leader, dragon.
That's good. I
for
don't.
Danatos.
At first, I was like, I don't think I would have got this. The rule bound might have been enough for me to guess. Damn it. I am so sad that I have to put a point on this board.
That's what you
to
get for
put me-
being fucking
Oh,
cocky.
I
How
know.
many
I
times
know.
did you
I
say
literally.
that?
I know. At least I thought it to myself and then said it after you got your points. But yes, I was like, I freaking deserve this. All right. Gotta move my Pokeballs out of the way.
I feel like my clues weren't hard enough.
Oh, it was perfect. All right. Frickin'.
My head hurts from screaming so loud. It's a good thing we podcast in the sunroom. No one can hear me out
I know,
here.
I was kind of like, I hope I don't wake my
Oh.
kids. Okay, I gotta do this so you can see.
Whew.
I had way too much fun making that.
That was a
That
lot of
was
fun.
A lot of fun. Katie, this hurts my soul to be in last
Woo!
place.
That's the first time I
you.
haven't been in last.
It's my first time being in last.
We have a clear 1, 2, 3 too.
Yeah,
We do indeed.
I'm at the bottom of the barrel here. I'm not happy.
All right, update our score for our listeners.
All right. So, Amanda is in last place, unfortunately.
Sorry, what was that?
Amanda is in last place. Amanda is in last place, and she's not even bitter about it at all,
At all.
with 2 points. Katie, second place with 3 points. And Kristen in first place with 4 points. And, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm like, I get to do Bookish Breakdown next week because you guys might know I'm stupid. Okay, this is good for me. Katie gets to do it. So
Yeah.
I can hopefully tie up.
I'll be pulling
Last
for you to
place?
tie me because that means Kristen doesn't get too ahead of me
Because
again.
if not, yes, then Kristen's going to be unreachable for me anyways. And maybe
Yeah.
Katie will have a chance. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that was a lot
And as a
of
reminder
fun.
to our listeners, the first 1 to 10 gets to pick a book of their choice, and the other 2 have to go in and buy it for them.
Yep.
Almost halfway there, Kristen.
So I have lots of options.
Want that book. Yep.
Manifesting that shit.
Oh.
All right,
was fun.
friends.
Whew.
So with that, we ended on a happy note. See, like
did.
Amanda
Yes.
said, we had some fun in the end.
We
It's good.
Yep. Yep.
Professor Katie, gather round, students. I'm going to assign your homework. We are going to be
on it.
we're going to be covering chapters 21 through 26 of The War of Two Queens, obviously. And according to my Kindle, we are about 40% done this book. So look at us go.
Ooh.
That's
Woohoo.
crazy.
That is crazy.
I know.
This one's going
Wild.
by faster, it seems, even though we're doing
Mhm.
less chapters per episode.
I know.
know.
It's
Huh.
true.
That's
It's
very
true. But
interesting.
I will hand it over to
Yes,
Amanda.
please do. If you could, let us know how you fared in this bookish breakdown. If you thought we did great, who were you cheering for? Actually, that's what I'd like to know. Who were you cheering for?
anyone that was cheering for me is like, nah, she fucking crazy. I'm out.
No, I'm just kidding. But if you could like, comment, follow, subscribe, ding ding, email us and let us know what you think. We are on all of your favorite social media platforms at Your Bookmark Pod, or you can email us yourbookmarkpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. So
Yes.
don't be
would.
bashful. Reach out. Write us a letter. No, you can't do that. because you need to.
Snail
just
mail
email.
it
us an
through
email.
I just
email.
don't address things to our houses. Write us an email though, and we will be happy to read what you have to say and take your feedback into consideration to make this better for you, our
Yeah,
book
buddy.
club bookworms.
All right. So with that, we will see you all in our next chapter.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.